We're live.
We're live? We're doing this live?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those are the girls.
We're doing it live! Not anymore. They're Shane's cookies.
Just turn off TV now. Once it's live, as long as it's live, yeah, we're
Did
good.
he vomit inside that water bottle?
Oh, I added sweet tea to it.
Why is there just honey water in your house?
The hurricane, that's all there was.
Ugh.
And we never drank it. But Shane recently put it in the refrigerator and now he's drinking it for some reason.
Shane, you're drinking literal shit. You're consuming Dasani water.
It's okay.
First of all,
it's okay when it's cold.
Alright. There's salt in it.
Don't defend it. It's not good.
There's salt in it?
Yeah,
No,
look at the ingredients.
It's a complete.
Read the ingredients. Shane, what is it?
No, they artificially do. It's
It's a complete,
purified water, magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, and salt.
You know what's in Aquafina? Water.
It's a complete racket by Coca-Cola to get you to continue drinking water because the salt in it is going to dry your mouth out.
I have just learned something new today. I have further reason to hate Dasani.
You didn't know that?
No.
Dasani has salt in it?
I didn't know that either.
Zephyr Hills over in Sonic.
Ew, Zephyr Hills is gross too.
Like, excuse me?
I like Aquafina.
Thank you for tuning in to our D&D stream as we tell you about water.
What's the Robert De Niro face you just made?
Pretty sure the recap is playing right now.
And you're laughing.
Yeah, still think so?
It is. It's just underneath everything else, and I have no way of controlling it from
Put
here.
the recap on with Michael talking?
The recap starts at the start of the stream.
Michael, tissues.
That would have
Yeah, you could have told
I
us.
said that before?
No,
No, not this time.
I don't think you did, buddy.
I'm so bless you?
Why are you
It's
confused?
only a kid.
No. Sometimes
Okay.
people sneeze and it
There it is.
doesn't sound like a sneeze.
My only other
Bless you.
concern is if it's set on auto repeat and it just keeps on playing the recap in the background over and over again.
Sounds concerning.
But there's no way for me to handle that from here, so we're just gonna hope everything works out in the end.
Guys, I worked really hard on recording that recap. I'm glad you got to hear it because Shane didn't tell us about it.
We might not be able to hear you.
Why don't you give us a live rendition, Michael?
How about instead of blaming me, when we start the stream, we not have a 45-minute dissertation on water?
We always talk when stream starts. We make it engaging from the front. You didn't tell us. You didn't express how things were
All these
changing.
things that I've
with a
done.
10-minute diatribe about something random.
Yeah.
Hashtag facts.
All these things that
facts.
I've done are the killers.
Okay.
It was bothering me. It was stuck in my
Told
head.
you. There's more than two
Well, I'm
sides.
ready to roll some
I
dice.
told you I like that whole
I'm
TV.
ready.
Did the thing stop playing?
Rolled.
My favorite is when we listen to it live on the phone instead of stopping it on the computer.
It's definitely us playing.
Oh, good.
It's me in a blanket.
Glad you all
This
got
is
that
an audio
retake.
file.
Oh. Oh, it's my 8-month anniversary.
Okay. So, hi world. I'm really fucking tired. So, we're gonna get through this tonight
I'm
together.
freezing. Can we turn the fan off?
No.
I'm so cold.
3 of us have a few extra layers that we don't need to talk about.
True.
I don't understand.
I am thoroughly insulated.
Oh, I mean, I'm also quirky.
Rotund. We'll go with rotund. We're rotund gentlemen over here. The League of Rotund Gentlemen.
I don't want to be part of that
Also a
league.
golden corral near you.
We're gonna destroy Sean Connery's career one more time.
Ugh. Fucking watch that movie. Watch the shit out of that.
Someone just asked if
We're
it's
on
cold here.
rascals.
Yes, it's 75 degrees.
It's great in here. It feels perfect.
I'm so cold.
Alright.
I'm not meant for this weather.
So, because I fucked up the recap thing, I gotta figure out a better system for it.
Okay.
I just don't know how to do it offhand. Oh, that's my mommy saying goodnight. I love you, mommy. Good night.
That wasn't your mommy's.
chat? Or?
Yes, it was.
No, it's text message. He's not talking about the same thing you were talking about. He's special.
So, last time the party interacted with the Black Feather Clan, a group of harpies that had gathered across the the southern ridge of the Cloudstep Mountains. These harpies worshiping a large other bird-like creature called Godfeather, descended upon the party, attacking them to attempt to feed the clutch group of young harpies that are still growing in age. After a small skirmish, the queen let the party go, saying that they would have the guide or the protection of the Blackfeather clan as they continued south, heading towards the Black Stags, a group of druidic people that live at the base of the Cloudstep Mountains. The party is currently heading south along the eastern edge of the mountain ridge.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Burping.
Who ate salami?
Who's burping?
I'm not burping or farting or
It's
shitting.
stinky.
It's still me.
Why did you just like? I was gonna say something very offensive.
I had teriyaki chicken.
Are you sure? Are you sure it was a pig butthole?
What? That's what salami is?
No, it just smells like it.
What I really want.
This side of the table might not make it, guys.
It's bypassing me, so.
I know.
It's stinky, and it's cold, and sleepy.
I really want a hydraulic chair over here with like the lever that I can hit, so I can just lower myself down and slide to the floor. And
I thought you were gonna say hydraulic chair and then just shoot yourself through the roof.
no,
Our chairs go into a shark pit like Dr. Evil.
Don't give him my
it doesn't even need to. If I can just have a pole that your chair just falls out from under and you fall to the ground, that'd be good enough for me. You don't have to go into a
Put me
pit.
your freaking bone here.
You don't have to go into a shark pit. Just you all falling onto your asses would be enough for me. All right, y'all are heading south. You just got done talking to the queen. Role play.
Solomon, did you eat pig butt? What is that?
It's some of the rations we've had since Alahoot. I've been holding on to them.
That's like
That
5 years
explains
old.
it. That explains it. And now I know why they smell like assholes.
It's 3-year-old asshole.
Some pig butt jerky.
It's some
Ew.
booty hole jerky.
Some PBJ.
Ew. Some PBJ.
That's why you make the big.
Yuck.
That's why you're the DM.
Yuck,
You
yuck.
took peanut butter and jelly, you made it sinister.
Forever unclean.
Yeah, no. When I was in Valoria doing my training, I would take some beef jerky and it would remind me of the good old days.
Y'all are kidding.
Anyways.
I feel like I need a recap.
We did have the recap.
She can recap it for you.
I wasn't listening.
Hey, there's a really excellent Wikipedia page that has all the recaps on it. Well, I don't have the link right now because the link's really long, but if you go on our Facebook or our Twitter, you can go ahead and look at it from there, and it'll link you right to it so you can figure out what happened last week and the 5 sessions before on season 2.
What if you're lazy like me and you need to read it in a hurry?
There's an app. Yeah, download the app. Like, I don't know. Take out your phone and read it, you lazy sack of shit.
I thought.
Jeez, Michael, I was trying to do like some banter, and you got me with it. Stop moving! Outside!
Stop having a carbonated beverage!
He has a reflux. It's gotta come out.
He's got the acid
You're not supposed to even be drinking alcohol in this!
Maybe he's just accepted that he's gonna be like that doctor that you have at the hospital that has the hook for a hand. Jackson's gonna be the paramedic with a hook for a foot.
It's my strong foot.
There's a big difference.
It would be badass.
The doctor at my hospital lost to doing something heroic. He was in an a helicopter in the war.
And Jackson's like, this is heroic.
Hold on, Raffle's on its way.
I think the Afghan.
Alright, let's.
Alright, so we
In the Iraqi war.
we began heading southward, yes?
Yeah, we're going southward.
Well, that harpy sure was something.
Ted! You startled me.
Did anybody start the raffle?
They're called a murder.
I'm doing it
Is it
now.
right now?
Murder of harpies. I like it.
I wasn't sure.
Where you been
I
this
wasn't.
whole time?
I wasn't sure if it was a murder or a flock or a
Ted just
rook
comes out of the woods.
or an unkindness.
Did they try to murder you?
What is it? Unkindness. Flock of.
Unkindness is crows, maybe.
No, it's a murder of crows.
Then-
Murder of crows.
An unkindness of ravens.
Ravens,
I
yes.
just said.
You did. Sorry.
You're right.
Becca, you are the correct one.
You're out of those for like 2 months.
Yes, yes. Her drawer is full of them.
Those are like the best cookies in
Y'all
the
get some
world.
trophies from your
I know.
folks?
They're delicious. I wonder if they're expired. I
you
didn't
get
check them
better?
before I ate
I
them.
personally am a little bit afraid of this
They're only a little expired.
large bird they worship. I think we need to be sure to stay clear of the east side of the mountains.
I call beak.
It's probably true, but for now they're willing to protect us.
I don't think they were running from that creature they worship. I don't think that they have any control over it.
They're not going to attack us anymore.
They are not.
Protecting us.
I would also like to procure a harpy feather from the very many harpy we killed and give it to Ted.
Okay.
It's going in the top.
That is kind of disturbing, but I will not shut down your ways and beliefs.
Have you noticed what I'm wearing? No.
It's been disturbing from day one.
Gotta refresh
Was
it.
there ever a drawing?
Oh,
There
there
used to
was.
be.
The armpits.
Oh, there was.
Thanks for subscribing.
Oh, who did what now?
Ray J subscribed.
Oh, to what you just saw in the last 10 minutes? Thank you.
Realistically and honestly, we're at top tier right now. It only goes down from here.
Whoa!
We got salami burps and a little bit of banter. From here on out, it's going to be disappointing in-character conversations.
And more salami burgers.
Don't do us like that.
We're beautiful. We're beautiful streamers.
Julia destroyed my drawer, by the way.
She did.
My stuff's just like everywhere.
Alright.
You know the crazy thing is, I don't think I put the ad or the channel
So-
in
Come
the
on!
that I posted. What?
I didn't even burp.
Oh, you're yelling at me.
Did you burp? I didn't eat salami even if I did burp, but I did not burp.
All right, let's do this. You know, there's probably a whole bunch of people that we're trying to do a podcast with and trying to tune in and see what we're like, and this is what they're getting. This is what you're in.
It's high quality.
Well, don't eat salami.
Yeah, it's
I love salami.
Okay, don't.
I didn't eat anything.
Don't eat
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
eat salami and carbonated beverages.
Salami's for cats anyway.
Whoa!
Let the cats have some salami.
Yes.
I love
For
salami.
nothing. You're quoting him.
all right. Let's play D&D.
I don't watch the memes.
Let's play D&D.
Please.
Michael's like, I
I got a feather.
Alright,
I placed the feather upon my head. Now what?
I'm confused as to how
What?
Ted got here.
He was always here. He came with me through the portal. He didn't participate in the last fight.
But like, where were you though?
He didn't participate in the last fight.
He was fighting one single harpy and just wailing on the one.
I was fighting my demons.
Okay. Well, I'm glad
You're a bad person.
Mean.
All right.
Reggie used to like that.
So,
Listen, we need to get down to the Black Stag. They can have information we need. We clearly got more information than we thought we were ever going to from the Harpies.
This is true.
Do you think if we went into, instead of going into combat immediately, if we went into conversation, we'd find out more?
She started throwing.
As Queen Blythe, I decree that from now on, that's what we're gonna do.
Objectively,
No,
I respect your opinion, Blythe, but
that was an opinion.
they did throw boulders at us
they
first.
did attack us first.
Because we went into their territory.
We didn't know we were in their territory.
No, she has a point.
No.
But
We also got chased by them when we were trying to leave their territory
that's also true.
and attacked.
Maybe that was
We
still
were
their
also going to
territory.
be food.
We don't know how much territory unkindness, murders, flocks, and rooks of harpies pick.
I would like to objectively say
Nope.
I feel like we did a good job by not immediately killing the last one.
But now she's
talking to
alone.
Huh?
Did you try talking to them?
Oh, I did it. Actually, you know what I did?
And they didn't respond to you because they don't speak in the common?
But I used I spoke tongues of.
Oh, how'd that go?
I understood them. They understood me.
And what'd they say?
Nothing.
Oh.
They attacked.
It seemed like kill him was the correct phrase they said.
I tried. It was self-defense.
So it sounds like we're doing.
We will do better. I think we should,
Yes.
as a party, do better to not kill if we don't have to, but In certain cases, we have to, and they should be
Yeah,
expected.
like when we get attacked first.
Going forward, though, are we not concerned about the gray skins that she mentioned down there?
The Greyskins were the giants?
I would assume storm giants. I think that is the consensus we came to.
Where are they coming from?
They could just be natives of the plane.
And are they just involved with the tournament?
If they're involved with the tournament, they would likely be from the Earth plane, but from the information we gathered, the hunters would be coming from the Earth plane, which are not storm giants.
This is Michael's.
How do you know? Let me clarify that. The hunters were not stone giants, were they?
The hunters you're from?
Mm-hmm.
No, they were in a eclectic.
Okay. So I don't.
Cheers.
I don't have a drink for the first time ever.
I offered you.
Right, you're the drink master.
Someone give me like an alcoholic beverage.
I have like 3 drinks,
So
sorted sizes and shapes.
it is. I would figure they're not from the Earth plane unless the Earth plane sent multiple teams to fight.
No.
How do we know they're not part of the trials either?
I guess we don't. I think we should be wary of going anywhere near them.
True. But we do need to remain cognizant of the timeline we're on as well.
Sure. We have currently how many days till the blood moon?
6.
Some number that we looked up last time and forgot.
Ah, yes. Some number.
Some number. The 24th. We have 9 days till the trials begin.
How long does it get to lock again?
7 days from the
From where we are right now?
No, from the Black Stag Druids encampment.
And we're not even there yet.
No.
And this is by foot?
This is yes.
It's 7 days by foot.
That is what
Could it be quicker if
we
we...
had some friends in Blytopia that told us that.
Right. So it's like if we did like we rode something, it would
Was
be
it
quicker.
was the Black Stags that?
Who are the Eagle Riders?
Yeah.
They're separate
Is that two? Okay.
separate entities.
Aren't the black stags, aren't they like half horse people?
We don't know that. Those
Half
are the
deers?
they're the Thunderhoof clan.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stag and
I mean,
they're half animals.
the Eagle Riders, I think, were also worshippers of Godfeathers. That is what the Queen said. So
Here's the question: we go look for Godfeather.
I think that Godfeather would eat us.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But we could be closer to where the Eagle Riders are. Does that make
Do you want to attempt to ride Godfeather or the Eagles?
Yes.
I would hope not. God said it.
Probably the Eagles.
Okay, seems a little more manageable then.
Are we walking and talking, or are we
Yes,
just
you guys are in motion.
Can I look at she and ask her if she has any idea of how far? Do you know how far it is to the druids from an aerial view? Did you see where they were located?
I went up in Nova. You'll see them.
Did you come in from the south?
I hit mountain range and crossed. Found plateau for you to be upon. Stayed there.
I understand. Go back to sleep now. Good night.
Okay.
She does not have any idea either.
Who's from DC? I'm sorry.
Oh, Darren.
Darren.
He's calling you a bitch,
Who?
Justin.
Fuck off, Darren.
He's highlighting his message just
I
to
lied
call
to
Darren-
call you a bitch.
just to call Justin a bitch.
You touch a boob yet, Darren?
Egads.
Fucking wrecked.
Yeah, we're coming out strong tonight.
I love you so much.
Shades for real.
Fucking getting it. She's getting it.
Fucking me, man.
He says he has.
All right.
All right.
So As you guys continue heading south, the large mountain range to your left, for the sake of argument, you guys are heading south. It'd be to the left of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the mountain range is to the east.
Yes.
To the east.
The mountain range is to your east, but you're heading south, which makes it on your left.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I almost had an aneurysm last week.
Yeah, I know. We ended up going back and forth. It was a bad thing. Heading south down the mountain range, this large mountain range that creeps all the way up into the sky, almost disappearing within the clouds, unable to be seen. And as it does, you slowly begin seeing the cloud range, or the clouds at the end, start to dissipate as the range kind of starts to come down a little bit, almost able to see these upper peaks, and it begins to rain. This soft drizzle starts at first and begins to pick up into this rather large swells. Excluding Ted and Torok, because Torok wouldn't understand how this is weird, because, you know, this is probably his first time seeing rain.
No, this is all weird. What is coming? Are we on the... When did the water plane open up?
You three, Solomon, Ketra, and Blythe, would immediately notice that the rain tastes like salt water.
Something's wrong.
What?
The rain doesn't taste right.
What's it supposed to taste like?
Like nothing at all.
Oh.
That's a Simpsons reference.
So it's raining salt water?
What would cause that?
Massive tidal wave.
Don't like the sound of that.
No, it's not comforting.
I wouldn't know what salt water feels like.
What would
Probably
cause
have
that?
a PTSD flashback, right?
His demons.
These large groves and glens of trees that are kind of scattered out, these little nooks here and there, you see most of them, a lot of them are withered. They're dying.
From the salt water.
You don't hear much animal life in this area. It seems to be relatively barren.
This is comforting.
Weren't we?
Why do you seem disturbed?
This isn't a naturally occurring substance in these circumstances.
Weren't we just in a lush and vegetated area?
You keep doing the thing pointing thing. Yeah, no, I get it. It's not.
Is there like a clear cutoff where this is happening?
It starts as like a trickle of rain. As the rain picks up, you notice that everything else is kind of
But it looks
adjusting.
concentrated here. It's not like it's moving.
No, it looks like it's in a relatively constant spot.
Does it look like there's a central point where it's coming from?
What a great time to have detect magic.
Also, you like the storm, Daddy.
True.
I'm so cold.
Can I do? I don't know. Can I just do like an Arcana check to the air?
Just throwing it out in the air.
Yeah.
I just want to try druid crafting some flowers and see what happens.
They wilt as soon as you start to craft them.
What checks out?
What does a second give me?
Yeah, it's some spooky ass water.
Guys, I think the rain's haunted.
Can't be haunted. It's salt water.
Fair.
That's why ghost ships aren't real.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought of that.
Or this all doesn't actually work.
Shanathan, where is my dry erase marker?
Which one do you need?
Nathan?
Yes.
Where did that come from? Fucker.
Right? Take your markers back. You're welcome for me calling him Shanathan. I'd like to.
What does a 15 get?
On Arcana?
I was gonna kiss detect magic. Go first.
Being attuned with the more druidic and natural aspect of things, there is not a magic per se aspect of this. This almost seems like a natural kind of event. It's unnatural, but it's not arcane based. This seems to be something not magical is causing this.
Something not magical's causing.
That answers my question as I cast the spell detect magic.
Phenomenon. There we go. This is more like a natural phenomenon.
So,
It's like seam skimping.
Phenomenon.
Yeah?
what are we dealing with?
I don't know.
Probably ain't magic.
You're the storm guy. Meteorologist.
Oh, you're the storm guy, aren't you?
I'm not a human barometer.
What do you like to do, weather boy?
I can create.
Say that organically.
I can create.
Hey, what you guys doing?
I cannot.
What do you like
I
to do,
can't just
weather
like.
boy?
All right, we're at a southeasterly wind.
But if you can
15 knots.
create-
Hey, don't go boating today, guys.
You said all the plants are dead, right?
Most of them, yes.
I can't speak.
I need you to sit calling weather boy.
Waste my spell. There any animals about?
There is not.
No, I mean just character.
I want to say, isn't there a large river that runs through this section of the world too?
The river runs through it.
I want to say that you guys would also see a rather large river that runs nearby.
I would like to go lick the river.
Okay.
Oh.
So as Blythe flies away towards the river, as you approach the banks are filled with dead fish.
I would no longer like to lick said river.
Okay.
What?
The chat has caught me. We're actually dealing with climate change here today.
Oh
A
no!
green episode.
Yeah.
Then little lies over here.
Please don't use plastic straw. It's a turtle.
I regret because I started this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dead
Climate change.
fish. Climate change. And once again, I'm asking you for help.
All donations sent to us today will probably not go towards climate change and will probably hurt the environment more.
Nah, it'll go towards killing the pond in our back. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oof.
Well, it's not supposed to be a pond.
So none of you have ever seen something like this, because I'm still perplexed by
I've seen plenty of dead fish in my day.
the liquid falling from the sky.
Yeah, we usually have killed them.
I did kill many fish. And squid, mostly. Some fish. The fish you sided with the squids couldn't be trusted.
I don't know.
So we can assume that the water is salt water. That's it.
It's not. It's gross. There's dead fish in it.
This isn't salt water.
Coli. Coronavirus.
You got some red tide, but
Can I inspect one of the fish?
it seems to just kind of like this necrotic rot throughout it.
There's necrotic rot.
Oh no.
So
I gonna get the necrotic rot?
Don't
I
eat.
want my characters after
Is there a Church of Pelor nearby?
There is not.
Okay, just clearing it up. Watch out for a Father Matthews.
Hola, mi amo es Papa Matthew.
Mateo.
Mateo.
Oh no!
I'm gonna throw you off one of these days. I'm gonna look up another language for Matthew.
And it's Father Matthew, but he's wearing a bad mustache.
don't let your stepson eat the fish, alright? That is a System of a Down reference.
Oh.
Chops.
Okay.
Okay.
Song
So there's no like disease. It's just necrotic rot.
They just seem to be like rotting and dying.
But you said necrotic.
Yes.
Can I pump a divine sense out there?
What's the range on it?
everywhere.
It's in your heart.
That's a lot of range.
It's a lot of damage.
You'd think that
Within 60 feet.
No. you get a Blythe because it does Fae, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you pop a Blythe.
It's current year. You can't call it.
Whoa,
Me?
whoa.
What?
So
You can't just say that.
yeah. Yeah, be careful. Yeah.
Did you ask why?
Blythe, you identify as a Fae.
No, I identify as a Blythe.
You don't sect anything. I have to be socially acceptable. You don't detect anything.
Okay, great.
Don't want to make Twitter mad.
Big oof. Okay, so I don't.
The only pronouns I use are Blythe.
Blythe, and Blythe.
I'm working on.
I think Jackson's drunk.
So I'm working on my
He
thing.
never laughs at my buddy.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you.
Can I have it go in a perimeter?
Yeah, what's the range? One mile? Is it going up the mountain or down the mountain, or where's it at?
I would say forest.
Okay.
Where we're going, I wanted to scout ahead with it.
Same. It just kind of relays back the same thing.
Just kidding, it's the mountain that he picked.
What did you send out?
These country animals only for a fight, right?
No. You can use it for other
You
things.
sent out your elemental.
I can like send them out.
No,
Oh, I missed it.
it's okay.
What is this?
Why
Are you whispering just him?
Yeah.
Hey, you never
Okay.
made my weapon that I paid a lot of
Like,
points
I
for.
was so upset. I just thought you were like not telling me because I wasn't listening. I'm like, but I am listening.
You're not
This is
listening
loud.
to me, Michael. You
Okay.
ignore me.
Well, with that, I'd like to pull out my familiar and look at him and be like, "Hey, Stumpy,
Bonsai tree kind of shifts for a little bit. This eye kind of slowly rolls out.
could you do me a favor and go scout around the head and see if you can find anything that seems fiendish?"
It lives in a whatchamacallit, a terracotta pot.
And then I'm gonna take the terracotta pot and dump it.
He has it's a little earth, like a little earth elemental,
Group?
but it has a bonsai tree that grows on its back.
Terracotta pie?
Do you want Stumpy to have a friend to go with him?
That's also a system.
Does he like back up?
If you want to, Stumpy is a familiar, so if he dies, he doesn't really die. He just goes to a pocket dimension.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
is your elemental similar in that way?
I think so. Yeah, I think Orion does that.
All right.
Hey, Orion.
Should we enlarge them or leave them at the regular size? Yours is just
It
enlarged.
is
huh?
only enlarged.
All right. I'd like
That's fine.
I'd like to dump out a terracotta pot, which I've decided now is how I activate him. He just it's like a TARDIS pot. It's a TARDIS pot.
Reach into the razor.
Yes, please.
A TARDIS.
I forgot that I have a marble.
It's bigger on the inside.
What's it?
You have found a new way which you would plan to travel.
Yes.
So as you guys are walking, Blythe kind of trails back for a minute, and you see her throw this thing on the ground as this massive marble elephant starts to form, made of stone, as it shifts and cracks, and eventually this loud trumpeting horn is heard as Blythe lands on top of it, and the elephant continues to march ahead.
I don't know if that's going to be good with the salt water. Yeah, she'll find out.
Why isn't it good for the salt water?
Doesn't saltwater corrode shit?
I mean, if you leave it in there long enough.
I'm just saying.
If you don't have the proper undercoating. How wide is this river?
It's probably about a good 40 feet across.
Alright.
It's not deep.
I'm
It's
gonna put my foot in it. What happens?
it's a little. Oh, you can't really do temperature. It's a little chilly. If you could.
Alright, I'm gonna walk across.
Okay, you go about waist deep and wade through fish parts and whatnot as you
Get
come out to the other side.
Hey guys.
Oh, hey, teen.
Y'all coming?
Yeah, hold on.
Where'd you go?
He waded through the little river.
Across the river.
How deep is it?
Weren't you watching?
Tech goes back in.
No, I was talking to Stumpy.
I'm gonna
Stupid.
Yay high.
I'm gonna go out on my
Nipple
flying
high.
carpet.
He's fly over.
Yeah.
Waist deep for
I'm
me is like
a hover.
I only ask because I'm not really
It's that little
a strong swimmer. I'm kind of a sinker.
If you drown, I'll save you.
I'm not.
You're a
Can you
sinker.
can you carry me?
Roll deception.
I don't believe you.
No.
Don't worry, Torak. I've got you.
I'll go ahead and hippo my way across.
Just walking at the bottom.
You even
It's not that deep.
I know it's not, but I still imagine the hippo in my head. So
So you guys send your elementals out. Which way are they heading?
southward.
Okay.
Sure.
So scout the head, kind of.
Alright. So they start heading out.
I feel like one needs to go towards the mountain because he keeps asking, in what direction?
Just curious what direction.
I don't trust him.
I wouldn't.
You saw how long it took us to cross this river just now because of our lack of trust for this man.
I don't understand what I've ever done to make you all not trust me.
You know, the Ren Fair guy suggested that I get an item and throw it at him. It might help.
We don't talk about
It's
that.
immediately off the rip. Sliding down blood covered.
We do not talk about that.
So
But it's infamous in our hearts.
So continuing south. I need you all to roll perception checks.
At advantage?
No.
Because we're
I'm missing dice.
At advantage.
I know nobody cares,
13.
but I'm missing my blue D20. Oh wait, no, it went to jail.
Already?
16.
We're minutes in.
Last time.
Oh.
That is a
I got it.
19.
18.
13.
16.
16 boys.
16 boys.
I'm just breathing.
Maybe chew some gum or something?
Ooh.
Maybe you should swallow some
Let
gum.
me finish this last White Claw.
As you all begin heading south, you two get the first notification from your elementals that scattered out ahead. As you hear some, you all see coming up, you hear this as you see rocks kind of falling down the mountainside. And you hear this occasional
Told you.
like some rolling thunder almost across the upper sky. The cloud kind of cover blocks the top of the mountain from being seen, but
Is that why they call it the blues?
the cloud cover blocks it from being seeing the top of the mountain range. But you do hear this rolling kind of thunder and crashing sounds from up above.
Could I close my eyes and go into my elemental?
Mhm.
And what do I see from his perspective?
Is he going up the mountain, or is he just up ahead of you guys?
I would imagine they would probably head up the mountain as soon as they saw something coming from there.
So, as they start heading up the mountain range, you can see more falling rocks and debris, pieces of smoothened stone, almost shaped like large brick, come tumbling down the mountain, breaking across the ground.
So when you say
What
smooth
is its
brick,
AC?
it's a familiar like 2, 3.
Okay. So,
I mean, I know it gets the earth elemental stats, right? Because we
yes, because you've
bamfed them.
enlarged it. I need the earth elemental and I need the air elemental.
You said the stones were like smooth, like they were probably taken
sculpted.
from a building.
Proud of what?
The song references.
Oh.
You're still giggling. It's a fire elemental?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. His hit points are a lot.
We'll see about that.
Oh. Okay.
That's what's causing this. Or
That's not a lot.
Oh, how you met Shane?
I mean,
He's probably gonna one-shot it. Shane's the worst.
Negative.
You're literally the worst.
The worst.
Go to him.
What do we all think? Is he gonna one-shot
Is
the
Shane
fire
the worst?
elemental?
I doubt I can one-shot the fire elemental.
Is Shane the worst?
I feel obligated to agree with you, but I love Shane.
Why are your fingers crossed behind your back?
Proxy.
I love Shane.
I love Shane.
First
You
one,
just want to make a
the
character.
fire elemental would be the one that would actually see this as, because, well, temporarily, Michael, you would see this. Oh no, because your earth elemental has a decent amount of hit points. This massive bolt of energy, charge arcing through the sky, crashes into and blasts a chunk off your earth elemental, taking 47
From the
points.
sky?
Yeah, kind of from the cloud cover, not the top of the mountain range area, but you can't see up there. Blasting off a massive chunk off of the earth elemental. Another one comes crashing down towards the fire elemental. That's going to be a natural 20.
oof.
Good helps doesn't die instantly. That's going to be 59 points of lightning damage.
We're not insane.
As it gets blasted.
Face Jackson.
And then I'll go ahead and come back and be like, it seems that there's something on top of that mountain that's blasting it with lightning. Our elementals aren't going to make it much longer.
I'll pick it up when you throw it down.
I don't understand.
The weather boy.
Sounds like the lightning man should go on up there and take a lookie.
Yeah, you know what, kid? Kid gets it.
I did not know we employed a meteorologist in this group. I appreciate it.
What were you
What's a
picking up?
meteorologist?
Anyway, I started blasting.
I figure someone who studies meteors.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my armor has taken as much lightning damage in as it can, so
Maybe we expend some of that energy so you can get some of that sweet, sweet lightning boy energy.
is that how it works? As far as I understood, it took a long ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been with you for 2 years, so you need to explain that to me.
I don't know that I can do that.
Mine's a valid comment.
Mine's a valid comment that doesn't deserve all this invalid hostility. So, what are y'all doing?
Well, we clearly need to go in that direction.
Yeah.
Toward the lightning.
Correct, towards the lightning.
It was not lightning.
Let's go.
Oh,
It was a bolt of energy that did lightning damage.
oh, a bolt of energy that does lightning damage. Like a bolt of not lightning, but deals lightning, you know.
So much
Like a bolt of
Lightning.
No,
light
that ain't it.
that kind of makes you zing a little.
You know what?
Okay.
Suck a dick. Go up the mountain.
White lightning.
We going up this here mountain or not?
I feel like we.
You don't want to go up the light sing mountain? No, you want me to.
Well, we don't know what you want us to do.
I'm gonna start.
Hello!
Turns out Shane's ending the campaign tonight.
I'm gonna start hovering towards the mountain.
I yelled at the mountain.
Hey! Hey, mountain!
Hey, yo,
Hey, Grinch!
you fuck with this.
There was a girl on the right.
There was a girl on the. There was a meth head on the way to the Renaissance Fair that was seated on the side of the road, crying into a beer bottle and a Grinch onesie.
I went, hey, Grinch! I see you, spaceman!
Why didn't you call 911?
You know, I should have.
Man down.
It was either Julia or Billy went, where's Max?
Yeah, it was a Julia.
I went, Max ain't making it.
Oh,
Max
The
is
dog from the Grinch.
have you never seen The Grinch?
It has been a very
Hey,
long time.
Grinch!
So,
We watched it recently. Like post Christmas. Watched it.
Check.
I mean, I don't like Christmas, so.
We almost
so where are we going?
I guess we're
watched
going
it
up the
on
mountain.
Saturday.
Are we going up this here mountain?
I'm hovering towards the mountain.
All right,
I'm gonna watch him hover towards the mountain. Weather
He
boy
is-
at it again.
he is hovering towards
Yo, what's
the
your weather
mountain.
boy?
Oh, he hovered.
Oh, he hovering.
I thought he said he
Oh,
wasn't a
he
barometer, but he sure is acting like.
I'm not spinning.
It's more like a danger barometer. When Solomon gets hit, twitches, and falls, that's when you know danger's near.
Wee woo, wee woo. That's a nice one.
Talking about we use. I miss them.
So,
R.I.P. High lows.
so Solomon is drifting closer to the mountain,
What do I see?
as if to insinuate that he wants everyone to go with him, but doesn't
So
want to go alone.
condescending even when he
I'm making my way downtown. I'm gonna follow at a respectable distance because I can't hover.
Heading towards the mountain, you see a mountain.
With my 360 vision.
And more stone continues to fall.
Before he gets too far away, could I cast Shield of Faith on him?
Sure.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Thor.
You're welcome. I don't know how much it'll help,
That's alright.
especially if it's a save.
What is your thing?
Increases your AC by his wisdom.
Like +2.
+2.
Just a flat +2.
So that means currently my potential max AC is
28. That's fair.
Indeed.
You're gonna be really upset if something hits you, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Go ahead and make a dex save.
That'd be like divine intervention or something.
That'd be
A 42 hit?
You're about to start praying.
so.
50 hit, bro.
Solomon, if you're too far away from the party, just scream.
So as Solomon, you begin drifting, you see more of these stones kind of rolling down the mountains. It's not like before where the harpies were throwing; these are literally just tumbling down the mountainside. Looking at them, some of them are actually shaped. They're big, like size of this room, shaped, perfect squared stone, tumbling down this mountainside.
Okay.
I'm stopping well before they can hit me, by the way.
Okay, Solomon,
Just throwing that out there.
you're still drifting towards the mountain range.
Yes. In such a way that I would not be in the way of said boulder.
Okay, a respectable distance.
Correct.
Okay, there are not a lot of them. Just every now and then, one kind of slips and tumbles down the mountain.
Some respectability going on here.
So, what else? What are you three doing?
Can they hear me yet on the mountain? Hey, mountain!
I'd like to approach the safest I can, but I'm gonna wait for Solomon to.
A bug flew in my ear. A bug flew in my ear.
Maybe it was already in your ear.
It like,
No, it wasn't.
how you
Just-
dance.
I thought we haven't seen ants.
we haven't seen any more ants.
I'd like to wait until Solomon gives us an all clear.
Okay. So you guys are just staying back, watching Solomon drift up the mountain.
Ooh, that start to smell.
I guess.
So how high are you going, Solomon? Into the clouds?
Indeed.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
How high, dude?
You just flying in there?
I got my head in the clouds.
Okay, you just flying in there?
That's another song reference.
I'm not dealing with your fault references.
Are you doing all song references tonight?
Me.
All he communicates by.
I don't know.
Go on.
I thoroughly enjoyed Drunk Jackson, but I feel like he's very counterproductive.
No.
He's going up the mountain.
I want to know what's going on in the mountain.
My favorite is
Shane just wants Saul to go with him, I think.
No, it's fine. You guys do what you want to do. I'm here. I'm here to weave a story.
I'm trying to investigate the
Pick up the
mountain.
monster manual.
That's fine.
The 2080 AC. Nothing can it be.
No, I mean, I'm not that cocky. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
It's a rust monster.
That's a natural 20 for one. That's a 39 for the other.
Oh, I think those break your AC.
just a little bit.
Never saw me just
300 hit, bro.
I know that shriek.
They coming.
Solomon's in
Monster
danger.
coming.
I'm gonna roll a religion check.
Lord? That's a good. So here's what I need you to do, Jackson.
What's up, buddy?
This is something Justin will understand the reference of. I need you to roll 3d6 for me real quick.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
You should have 3.
I get.
10.
Okay, reroll it again.
All 3.
Yeah.
11.
11. All right, do that 4 more times. Go ahead and grab a sheet of paper. You're going to need to start over.
What am I doing here?
Nothing, buddy. Don't worry about it. It was a joke.
The look he stared at the.
There is definitely a chance this is going to do a lot of damage. I rolled a lot of 1s. Solomon, you take 77 points of lightning damage.
That's close.
As you break the cloud cover, you see this massive structure being built across the top of the mountain. Most of the mountain range has been flattened, destroyed, pieces of stone broken off. You can see old exposed caverns that are completely decimated and flattened out, making this large platform as this stadium-like structure is being currently built. As you see these massive titan-like creatures, pale white skin, golden hair, these massive golden shackles going up most of their arms. They stand, I want to say, close to 150 feet tall. There is 4 of them currently.
What are they?
I'll show you a picture.
Do I remotely recognize these things?
Tyrians?
No.
Tyrians.
Nope, sure don't.
As 2 of them on the side of the mountain that you were on hurl these massive bolts of energy from their hand, crashing into you.
Use your words.
He gets blasted.
These creatures immediately cause a tremble in you, something you've never seen before, almost like looking upon the divine. As you pause for a moment in yourself.
Hello.
What are you doing, buddy?
I'm gonna put it down.
So you start going down.
I mean, I now got here.
let me back up. Do they look angry that I even broke the plane, or
They don't
Broke
seem
the
to
plane.
show emotion upon their
the
face
clouds?
as the first 2 bolts hit you, and you see the other 2 beginning to turn that way. You hear this
shit.
massive crashing sound of like wind just being shoved by something massive.
Yes.
The ground and stone cracking underneath them as they move.
Let me hover down, please.
And we hear all this shit going on, right? No?
You hear 2 more like banging noises, like lightning crashing, as you see Solomon disappear in the clouds. And a couple minutes later, he starts coming down. There's smoke coming off of him.
I found the gray things. They're huge.
Is it because he's deaf? Is that why he's yelling?
There's
There's a lot of reasons he's probably yelling.
Permanent tinnitus.
They threw the energy at me that's not lightning but does lightning damage.
Stone giants don't throw light zings.
I don't think those were
I hate
stone
you. I
giants.
hate you so much. You're my least favorite person at the table.
Why?
I'm backing up.
Did you not hear what he said?
I said I loved you.
Stone giants
Do
don't.
not throw light zings because it's not lightning bolts. He's calling them light zings.
I don't understand what the problem is.
I hate you.
I'm gonna start backing up.
Just like a back jog away from the mountain.
I'm sorry, I had anger in the mountain.
I'm assuming you're gonna land, Solomon. So Solomon slowly comes down and lands next to you guys, just smoking these huge burn marks on his armor.
Sound good?
How hurt are you?
I'm at 2.
Oh,
His breathing started wavered.
Oh my god.
So it didn't go well.
What's going on up there?
They're building something. I don't know, man.
You didn't ask.
Listen, I got up there. They went. All right, there was some clear construction happening.
What did it look like?
They weren't quite lightning bolts, but I mean,
Oh, so you
That's quite a zing.
Are you talking about light zings?
yeah.
Light zings. Oh.
If you didn't know any better, you would think they were lightning bolts.
the reason that I said that they're not lightning bolts is because the energy of the attack can change at will. They can
it's a
choose
zing.
what type of energy to throw.
I
Whether it's from
So they could
fire.
do light zings, fire zings, ice
I
zings.
feel really zinged right now.
Voices and names.
Yeah, so,
Trademark copyright tag.
Ted, your voice changed when you said that.
There's
Copyright Ted off.
There's Ted and legal Ted.
I want to meet Legal Ted.
I'm gonna
Legal Ted needs to go up there and make sure they have permits.
I'm just gonna throw an idea out there.
The ball zoning board, you sons of bitches.
I heard what you did.
Your grass ain't the right height.
I'm no longer concerned
God.
with what they're doing up there.
Oh, we're gonna go?
Yeah, no.
Okay, hold fast.
Are we going south?
Because I got up there, right? Two of them zinged me. There were 2 others.
You got zingers?
Yeah, there were 2 others, and I got out of there before they zinged me.
Bunch of wise guys up there.
So they started blasting.
They blasted.
Do we not think that maybe that's the arena, the blood tournament?
No, we go on a train, dude.
That's true.
Oh, I thought you were
Maybe
making
it's the
something.
trials. Maybe there's a special arena for.
Do you remember?
Hold on,
You saying we gotta kill them things
hold on. I'd like to.
before they give us them zings?
Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah.
When you zing, it means you're in love.
I'd like to. I'd like to look at. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna sit down on the ground, and then dig my fingers into the dirt. Okay.
Oh man, here we go.
And start growl chanting.
What are you reaching out for?
I'm trying to see if
I can turn my fucking ears off, but I don't.
I'm trying to see if Magnus is nearby.
Is that like bitching?
Roll a religion check.
Oh, here we go.
A natural 20.
You sense there are other elementals nearby. It's hard to say if it's him for sure. You do sense that there are some fire genasi out there,
Okay.
but you can't say for sure who it is. They're not. Whoever it is does not seem to be communicating back. But you also sense multiple other earth elemental creatures.
Okay.
And during your reach out, you get something back. Hey, Torok. And it fades.
Do I know the voice?
Roll an intelligence check.
Oh no.
It's been a bit.
Intelligence.
Oh, natural one.
No.
How does the earth know my name?
I'm gonna look up a little shocked. Well, I tried to see if Magnus was up there, but I couldn't really tell. There's definitely fire genasi up there, and earth elementals, and yeah, that's it.
Up there?
Yes.
Why did they hurt Stumpy and Orion?
I don't think they did it on purpose. I think they're building something up there, but
That was just the zip. They intentionally zip zapped you.
I feel like they looked at me and zinged me.
They did indeed. There was eye contact.
Yeah.
It was like when LPD tases somebody. Like there was an immediate understanding that you fucked up, and now you're gonna get tased. All right, there was an immediate understanding that I believe I want to tase you, so I'm going to do it.
Okay, that's understandable. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna ask what they were doing. I really was, but then the other two turned around. They didn't look too happy, or I don't know.
Oh shit! You want to go back up the mountain?
I mean, language, I don't feel like it. I feel like that might get hurt.
Maybe he startled them by flying.
Ted, you go first.
Hey, he's a rock. He can absorb lighting, right? Lightning or zing. Are you good with zing?
I don't think I'm good with zings.
All right, fair enough.
He's not zing resistant.
I hate you all so much.
Yeah, well, don't get so angry about it. We won't keep doing it.
All right, so we gonna skedaddle on south again, I guess.
I think we just continue heading towards the.
Let you cool off.
Amongst other things, yes.
There's a creek back there you jump in.
I'll be
Bunch of
okay.
dead fish, though.
No,
Bunch of dead fish in the creek.
Does anybody want to roll a religion check to see if you can figure out what this is?
Can anybody roll this?
It'd be your 3 people of faith.
I'm faithful.
Our religion is
I'm getting there.
And me.
6.
What'd you get there? 10.
It is a 17.
Got a 9. Start gyrating. Here we go.
Let's take a dance.
What'd you get, Ketra?
I got a. Hold on. Hold, please.
Whomst is the god of zing?
18.
18.
What's this the god of zing?
The two of you.
To who?
Not you.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no, Ketra and Solomon.
The holy mints.
You've heard of beings that are the direct first children of gods between gods. They're said that in times of turmoil or strife, they can make the skies cry. They can cause death and famine around them, and they rot the lands.
The dead trees.
Do we know the names of them?
Inferior.
Do you think those were?
Now that you say that, considering what else is happening around us, I would believe.
Yeah. The sky is literally crying.
But why? What business do they have here?
They come out of what?
Inferior are the direct children of the gods. When they are happy, they make everything wonderful rainbows and sunshine. When they are sad, they do the opposite.
Opposite?
The
So
opposite.
they're obviously upset by something.
They cause natural phenomenon in directions.
But what?
I'd like to bring back the thought that maybe, it doesn't seem like this blood tournament is anything good. The trials are supposed to happen here. I would venture to say that has something to do with the trials, and maybe they're slaves.
I agree with the rocket. I'll go back and check. I do have a snake now, by the way.
You just found one on the side of the road.
Look what I found!
When it bites me, get closer to God. It don't hurt.
You should ride the bike for a second.
I'm beginning to think we just need to stop the tournament altogether.
Can't stop the tournament if we're not in it.
I suppose that's true.
I don't oppose that as a goal. Even if we win it 25 years from now, it happens again.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, but all the wishes are corrupted. So.
Right.
What about if we just wished for like
More wishes.
A non-corrupt wish?
You can't wish for more wishes.
churro?
Always.
Churros.
Oh.
Can't corrupt a churro.
Soggy.
I think I stand on the front that making sure this tournament never happens again is a good choice, Solomon. I would stand by that choice with you.
The next obvious question, though, is how do we do it?
That is a big question.
Well, I think we should probably like mosey away from the mountain. Throw throwing
I feel like
zingers.
we've been walking south, haven't we?
You guys are still in motion. I'm assuming you guys are.
An understatement.
I'm assuming that you guys are still in
Am I
motion.
getting any other pings?
We're gonna meander.
Still a little too soft.
So, heading further south, the rain begins to lighten. You guys are probably going about 4 or 5 miles at this point. As the storm begins to lighten, the grass begins to grow and bloom. Is somebody saying something in the chat? My phone died.
No.
Okay, let's make sure. The ground begins to go back to a large, lush plains, blooms, trees. Occasionally you hear some wildlife and creatures moving about. Small wild horses running in the distance. As the mountain range slowly begins to come to an end, and you guys are met by a large field. You're on top of a hill that opens up into this large rolling plain that you can see kind of the breaks of the ocean, probably about 5 miles away.
5 miles away from the Black Stag clan.
You guys are at the base of the mountains, so you can see that the ocean is about 5-7 miles away.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
It's like just at the edge of the horizon, you see like this vast blue.
That's a lot of water.
So
I'm confused how it's the edge of the horizon, but we see vast blue.
So which way do we go from here? To the Black Stags.
Move down the mountain. Move down the hill.
Hey, did you say there was wild horses?
there is indeed.
I'm a speaker.
You want to yell at some horses?
Hey, horse!
You cast the speaking animals.
What's going on? Why the long face? Anyway, horse, come here. Come here, horse.
Roll animal handling and just say, come here to the horse.
You just take near to the horse.
First of all, I'm a bear, so I don't know what he's getting at. Where'd he go? 15.
15. The Mustang of the big male horse kind of trots up to you, presents.
Gives some
Oh, really?
Yeah, you give him some
pats. Bow
pats.
back.
Okay.
And then gives some pats.
Huge black Mustang. Kind of in your face.
Hey, how's it going, Hoss?
Good. Run fast.
Hell yeah, alright.
Go fast.
So, is there any other critters around here? What look like us?
There's centaurs. There's some elk. Occasionally we see deer.
Are there folks that speak to you like me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where are you at?
Head further south, and then towards Big Blue. They have town near there.
Town near Big Blue, head south. Alright, thanks, horseman. We're going south towards Big
Runs off. For the sake of argument, the entire time that Ted was doing this, he's going because he speaks like the animal he's talking to.
But it looks real cool doing it.
Yeah.
He has a cool demeanor.
Well, as the man said, we're...
Ted, how do you make those windy noises if you don't have lips?
What?
You know, the... How do you do that?
What the hell are you talking about? I was just speaking perfectly normal to this here horse.
I don't think so.
I don't think you think so. About that. We're going south.
That's what he
Big
just
Blue.
said.
There's some,
A lot of inter-party conflict.
there's some half horsemen running around.
Horsemen?
There's some druids.
Oh, they also have horsemen.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
He didn't delve into that question. Literally, Ted calls his horse over for a 2-second conversation, then waves and the horse runs off. And you guys just look at Ted and look at the horse and runs back to its group and then off into the distance.
But they also look at each other and they both go.
Yeah, there's like a soft, like a mutual respect and a nod between Ted and his horse.
Ted, I don't know what happened.
I'm good for 9 more minutes.
What else do you want to talk to, buddy?
What else around me?
Not much. There's some bugs.
Yeah.
How do the bugs feel today?
You can start looking for things if you want to start investigating and looking for animals.
There's a city
Well,
to
after
the
that
south.
snake you found.
There's a city to the south. It's near the Big Blue. I'm assuming he means the ocean.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, it's big and blue. So hopefully that's the only big and blue thing out here. Yes.
Well,
It's Blythe.
Blythe is pointing.
I don't think there's a city in the sky. I hope not, man. I don't know how to get there.
I mean, I found what could be a city in the sky at some point. I wouldn't go up there.
Just
Sean,
saying.
did you hear yourself this whole time?
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
What's around me?
Animal-wise,
Yeah.
there's the horses that are doing their own thing now.
Yeah.
You'd see some deer off in the distance,
Hey,
some wolves. Rolling animal handling.
As we all know, deer love really
Natural
loud
20.
noises. What's cracking?
Deer comes up.
Eddie Murphy.
Hey, yo, dear.
What's happening? Yeah.
I don't know. You talk to animals. Shit.
So
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
deer comes trotting up. It bows.
Give him pats.
It's a big old elk with these massive antlers.
Are we talking deer or elk?
Sorry, big old stag.
Oh, he coming.
Yeah, big old buck.
Buck.
This big old set of antlers.
Alright. Hey, Buck. How's it going?
Nods.
So there's half horse people around here, right?
Thunder hooves that are to the north.
Oh, they're back to the north? Alright. Well, what about the other people who talk to you like me? They're still south?
So you wish to speak to the black stags? Why is that?
Oh. Hold on a second. Hey, why do we want to talk to them black stags?
I think he's one of them.
We were told that they would provide us some sort of shelter, that they were hospitable on our way to Locke.
Alright, well, we was told that they're very hospitable folks. Give us shelter on our way to the lock.
What brings you towards Locke?
What is he saying?
We all stare just like, huh?
Oh, he wanted to know why we're looking for the black stags and what brings us out here.
That's
around this
We're
park.
looking for the eighth.
It's a
remember?
very intelligible conversation for an animal.
And?
Go on.
The black stag druids.
We're on a very important mission.
What makes your mission important to the black stags?
Saving the world, I believe. Hey, are we saving the world again?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying.
We out here.
Yeah, we're trying to
We're out here
binge some
grinding.
stuff, stop some stuff, some bad stuff.
Tell them we them boys.
I'm not gonna tell them.
We them who?
You have to whisper. You could have pretended to do it. We the boys! I feel like that hurts more.
You could have lied to me.
Just lied.
Hey, do me a favor, nod at my friend real quick. Oh, he gets it.
I can't take it back. I said what I said.
He looks at you and he goes, saving the world from what?
Should have looked more at that wiki.
Hey, don't forget to go check out that wiki on our Facebook and our Twitter.
Where can I find the wiki?
You can find it on Facebook and Twitter.
Why are you so mad at this commercial we're doing?
We straight up wiki.
Part of the commercial.
We're either
Dear
gonna compete in a tournament or we're gonna stop a tournament of blood.
What does this deer look like?
It's a really, really big buck, probably large in
You
size.
consider him to be a stag?
Yeah,
Is he black?
he has black antlers, white chest, a mixture of kind of barkish tones across the back.
He keeps making that noise because he thinks you're one of the druids.
The druids live further south than here.
Yeah, they don't want to
Sounds
listen.
like
Do you sound like the Mad Hatter from
Yeah, they
House
don't
of
want to know that
Wonderland?
because if you was a druid, I'd just be speaking druid to you.
on Rudolph.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
Tom
it would.
Cornelius?
But you're deer,
Yeah.
very magnificent deer.
Thank you. I work hard to be groomed regularly.
Oh, nice and
Is Ted speaking deer or druid?
I don't know yet. I don't think Ted knows.
No, I'm still in the spell. Not like 5
You two have been speaking common this whole time, Ted. Definitely a druid.
Spell. Can you just let me cast a spell?
But you do speak Druidic.
I don't know if the deer speaks druidic.
He's pointing and yelling at Tetra now.
Listen, alright. Anyway, so the black stags you said was where?
They near the ocean in a small city.
Oh, Big Blue. Yeah, he's telling the truth. That horse is a good man.
Most of the Mustangs in this area are.
You wrote Michael.
That horse is a good man.
I have other things to tend to within the glens and glaives near here.
Is there, I do want to ask a question. Have you been back that way where all the dead stuff is lately?
I have. We're attempting to stop whatever corruption it is that is spreading this way.
I wouldn't go up that mountain. You see my friend there, the one all charred looking? He got hit with light zinc.
The spicy one.
Actually,
I've heard of this light zinc.
By the Inferior. Probably.
Interesting.
It was real big, apparently.
What brings Inferior in here? What is going on over
I
there?
can't have licorice on the table anymore.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Inferior don't come to the material plane unless they're banished here. That's odd.
Real
Well,
odd.
like I said, I have other things to tend to. It's been a pleasure. What was your name again?
Ted.
Nice to meet you, Ted. I'm Corvanus.
Who?
Corvanus.
Did
you just give that deer your name?
As he gives you another nod. He gives another nod, kind of bumps his head into yours, and then
Head bump.
runs off.
All right. So.
The deer runs away. Ted's been having this conversation in soft whinnies and nays.
And then he goes, Ted.
He's your Ted, very plainly.
So that's
Universal language.
their things. What Steve you? Apparently they don't come down here too often unless they get banished.
Oh.
Yeah. So and also the Black Stag is further that way.
So that would make sense why they're not happy.
Yeah, and he was not a druid.
So then the next question would be, why are they banished?
Deer supposed to know. That's cool. Quavarius, all right. Good man.
Oh,
Wait, here's a deer.
the deer has a name?
We know, I see you, old command.
Hello?
I know your people.
What is it? Quavarius?
Cavarius.
Cavarius?
Quavarius.
Is that the name you're giving him and agreeing with him?
No.
Oh, okay, good, because that's not the name you've given.
He hits it like 3 times back to back with her. I think that's what I said.
Quavanus.
You know, I'm going to call Quavarius at this point, right?
We know you're a person.
Shout at the elk.
What deer has a name? How do deer know what names
What was the horse's name?
I didn't ask his name, but I'm going to call him George.
I think.
He was a horse with no name.
No, I'm going to call him Bojack.
That was a song reference.
No. What was it?
So,
Horse with no name? America? No one? Alright.
Went through the desert.
so
All right, so let's continue south to the Black Stags, who are the actual druids and not this deer who is not a
I hope.
I bet you we're gonna meet that guy. I bet he's gonna be people.
Who would want to bet 50 gold right now that they're going to be, quote, expecting us?
Also, the other ones, the half horsemen, they're north.
The Thunder Hooves?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's alright.
Mistake.
South it is.
Do we now know it's the Thunderhooves?
yes.
Yes.
I
Oh,
can't wait
good.
to meet
Quavarius told us that.
Only him actually being able to communicate with me too. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I mean, he's cool people. They'll probably
He's
see him.
probably
Yeah.
not a deer.
Because he's people. With Ted in the middle.
You don't speak perfect deer like that as people.
How many deer have you talked to, Ted?
At least half a dozen. No shit. You didn't know my lot before I met you.
You never share.
Not my real dad.
I'm not trying to be a dad.
Why don't you open up more, Ted?
Get in my face.
You're not my real dad. Salton's my real dad. He shows up.
You're not my back.
Off my back. That's where Solomon lives.
Go get a drink. I don't have anything for you here next to me. I have nothing next to me
Y'all
to
act
get you a
like
drink.
you've never seen a conversation
Just go grab one real
with
quick.
deer knees before.
Nope, sure haven't.
I physically can't help you. It's harder for me to go than it is for you.
My papers.
There you go.
Alright.
Alright, to the south.
To the south.
See y'all heading south.
Correct.
South to rise again.
Oh, I still got
Excuse me?
1 minute left. Is there anything I can yell at?
You want to just yell random obscenity at something?
Yell yee yee.
Is there a bird?
Take that snake out and punish it.
Whoa, what?
You're not gonna be. Wow.
Why are you making Ted take out his pee-pee?
It's not gonna be. You're not close.
Ignore that, please.
You're not close enough to be able to have a conversation with Bird, but you can yell something at it.
May I have a glass of water?
Hey, bird!
No, not Dasani. I don't want to drink salt water.
Don't you poop on me! And I'm.
And that's Ted just and then goes back to Ted.
Immediately get shit on.
Son of a bitch! Don't that son of a bitch not do that!
Bird, who plays next to you?
Watching you, some bitch.
I know you're not real.
Yay or nay?
Facts.
Facts. Hard facts.
So
Cool.
Alright, let's go.
y'all
It's a great deer adventure.
head on down south.
I'm living for it.
What do you got going on over there, buddy? Is that your
Thought.
Is that your thinking
Deep
pose?
thoughts. Deep thoughts.
I'm concentrating.
Beyond thought.
Let me ask this before we keep going. Do we want to pause and take a short rest?
What?
Solomon,
I
you
feel
look
like that would be beneficial.
you look a little toasty.
I am.
Oh yeah, what? Getting struck by the light things and everything.
Right, those light zings.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pause, take a short rest, and then continue southward.
Do I get slots back on that?
Long rest only. Only Warlock's getting back early.
Worth it.
Anybody else doing anything?
I'm gonna
during
go
this
around the
rest?
perimeter.
Well, I get to use my arcane recovery.
You a wizard.
Up to half your wizard's level and spell slots.
Asshole.
So, going for a walk around. You just occasionally see a couple other animals moving in the area. Seems relatively peaceful.
Get my ocular pad down.
Sun seems to be relatively bright. Are you walking to the mountain or just out in the plains, or? Because you guys, I'm assuming, are like right at the base of the mountain.
Are we still?
I'm going to focus on the plain.
It's a mountain chain. It goes literally up the whole side of the country.
I'm gonna focus on the mountain base,
Okay.
and then the other things are gonna go.
Roll
push
a
as far
perception
as
check.
I was thinking, no.
I would like to make it known now. If the settlement where the Black Stag are is obvious, before we get there, I plan on casting clairvoyance in the area.
Go on.
Just saying.
Okay.
19. Kind of looking around, walking, just kind of pacing. You come across the base of the mountain where you guys have kind of set up your little camp area. As you kind of are walking, just pacing around there. You kind of go a few hundred yards out, just kind of meandering about. You can see that there is a rather odd setup of stones at the base of the mountain. It's kind of 4 stones that are stacked almost like a triangle with an opening between them.
Go like to look through the opening.
Okay.
Just crouch.
Crouching and looking through, you can see that there is a large doorway into the mountain range.
I'd like to
There's a
move
huge
away
hole.
from the giant. Look back into the doorway.
It's literally only like this big. Like you have to lay down to look through it.
But the door's big.
The door's huge.
We're gonna have to get into a mountain. Does anyone?
I mean, I see you out there.
You see Kendrick walk a little bit. He's probably like 100 yards out, and he lays down, looks at something.
Hey!
Yeah.
Kind of standing up with his hands on his hips, just looking at a mountain.
It's only 100 yards. Hey, what you doing?
Hey, Ted, come here.
Alright. Come here.
Mayor.
And be like, hey, Ted, you see a door?
Ted, he's just looking at a mountainside.
Ted, all our time together.
I see a mountain.
You haven't gone on your snaky belly.
I was expecting Ted to be like the overly supportive friend here. Do you see a door? I see a door if you see a door, buddy. I'm here for you.
Tell me.
When you don't see a door, we look for a window. We'll get you through this.
I get on my belly.
Look through
Now what do I
look
see?
through the tunnel.
Are you looking through the tunnel, or are you just laying on your stomach at this point?
I'm looking in the tunnel.
So you see this large opening, like a massive cavern. It's probably 70 to 80 feet tall.
And you see the door, right?
Mm-hmm. There's no door there. It's just a cavern. It's just
Wait, is this an optical illusion?
I don't think so. I'd like to lay back down on my
You're laying next to Ted,
looking at this cavern.
Wait, so what the hell am I looking at?
Solomon and
Alright, language.
Torok, do me a favor real quick. Roll perception checks.
I'm not fully understanding what it is we's looking at.
There's 4 rocks that are stacked like a
Little
tiny.
rocks.
No, like big, like the size of my arms, like 1.5 feet, 2 foot tall stones.
Little rocks.
Stacked like this with an opening between. Think of like
Okay.
bricks, and there's an opening between.
Yeah.
3, so you're not paying attention.
They're based on type.
Yeah.
Oh.
17.
17. So Solomon, as you're attending to your injuries, cleaning up your armor and stuff like that, you see as Ketcher yells, you see Ted walk over there. They talk for a couple minutes at a distance. See Ted lay down, and do one of these, lay back down, do one of these, and then Ketcher lay down next to them, and they're currently just laying down, staring at a mountain.
I'd also like to be kicking my feet.
What are you guys doing?
What? Nothing.
I kick my feet too.
Okay.
Sliding doesn't always get you where you want to go.
It does for me.
At this point, Torok, as they're yelling, you would look over and you see that Ted and Ketcher are currently laying on the ground.
What are you all looking at?
What? Nothing.
I enjoy the fact this conversation is happening 100 yards apart.
Yeah, no one's gone up.
Yeah.
What? If you bring the rocket over here, he's gonna start singing.
I'd like to walk over.
Oh, he's coming over. Oh, hey, Torah.
Hey, Rockman.
Has it been?
Did you find a strange rock? Let's sing about it.
It's like he knows. It's like he knows.
As you two are laying there, looking through, looking it out, kind of trying to get a real bearing as to what's going on.
Is it compared to me? Can I slither through?
No, you cannot slither through
Can I
it.
put my arm in it?
Yeah.
I put my arm in it.
Nothing happens. So you two walk up as they're both laying on the ground, and Ted has his arm through and he's doing this motion.
Are you feeling anything?
What are we doing, guys?
No.
It's a myth. Don't hit the spot.
I personally though, I'm a little confused. Like they have
So it's
triangular hole in the ground.
no,
It's rock stacked up.
it's like this. So like this was the mountain in front of them, right?
Okay.
There's 4 stones that are stacked like this, with like an opening.
Is this salami?
Like that's like an opening to look through.
In the mountain.
You have
No,
Thin Mints
this is
and salami?
looking at the mountain.
Don't judge
And
Lammies.
as they look at the mountain, they see this massive cavern.
The cat salami.
Oh.
Oh my god.
But they don't tell you that they see a cavern. Currently, you just see them laying on the ground, and Ted's arm is through this hole as he's waving it every which way, and Ketcher is still trying to look through the hole while he's doing it.
I can't feel nothing.
I don't understand what you two are doing.
Ted, you got
They took a short rest, but
you gotta make
hit
a
points with
come
it.
hither motion. Other way.
It's a sudden shake in the mountain. Moving forward. Nothing happens.
Alright, do it for 40 more minutes until it gets tired. And then pretend something happens.
Alright, I'm gonna turn into a snake and slither in.
I never want to hang out with Jackson not drunk again.
You want to slither through the hole or slither into the cavern?
The other way.
What? There's 2 different.
Yes.
This thing's like 20 feet off.
When you look through the, like, if you look at just the mountain, there's just a mountain. But if you look through the hole, on the mountain you can see a cavern. So it's like a magical rock spyglass.
Okay, mountain.
How big is the hole?
Your size.
Probably
If you take the bracelet off, you can get it.
Reasonable.
probably like 8 inches.
Did that
I would
make
like
sense?
to take off my
It's
bracelet.
probably about a good 20 or 30 feet apart.
There's no hole. There's like a fixture sitting on the
Maybe like a
ground.
window.
And they bent down, look through the window. When they look through the window at the mountain, they can see a cavern in the mountain. So to us not looking through it, we just see a mountain.
It's not so much
They know
about
there's a cavern.
Okay.
So you turn into a snake and he slithers through the.
Wait,
the
what did he
stones.
turn into a snake? Where is he going?
Where was his hand? Why is he doing these things?
Slithers through and he just comes out the other side of these rocks.
Why are you all so fascinated with rocks?
Wait.
Alright. Realistically,
I'm on the other side of the
crouch.
of the rocks.
I'm gonna shove it.
I ain't going to the cavern.
Are you gonna go into the cavern?
Hell yeah, I'm
Alright,
going
so
to the
you're
cavern.
it's like 20 or 30
Come on,
feet.
like
So
D&D, and you know I'm going to the.
My shoulders are a little bit big. Let me kind of squish my face down. Oh.
DM trying me.
Oh, I see there's a hole right there in the cavern.
Torok and Kendra are laying next to each other trying to look through the hole.
No, you're hurting me.
As Ted is slithering towards the cavern. He waves his tail at you dismissively.
So there's a magical cavern over there.
There was a magical cavern. Ted's gonna blow it up.
How do we get in?
I think we just walk towards it.
Alright.
Is there
How long do I get in this
is there like a
cavern?
password?
It's like 30 feet, so it's only like a couple seconds.
Do we have
So-
time for this?
As Ted slithers up, he makes it to the stones at the face of the mountain, and
Blame him.
you see Ted just pass through.
Ted? Can you hear me?
You can hear him fine.
I was rolling something.
You can hear him fine. You're just a
I don't
snake.
roll that one though.
I think we follow Ted.
Oh yeah, I'm just a snake. On my snaky belly.
I'm gonna start walking to follow Ted. Did we finish our short rest?
Yeah, I give you
Oh,
guys
good.
those for us. It's been about half an hour.
Because I did all my things.
It was a solid like.
Wait a second. They can follow me just by walking around the pile of rocks.
That's a visual thing only. You didn't investigate the rocks. You just decided to crawl through the
That's
hole.
the rock man. He showed up and didn't say nothing about the guy. I'm still slithering.
Are you guys following Ted?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys approach this massive sheer
wow.
cliff of stone as you go to touch, and just your hand phases through. Roll perception checks.
At advantage because we're looking at it.
Advantage for Solomon because he's looking at it. You really gotta get you one of those cloaks.
7.
Oh shit! I can snake perceive this.
I don't.
Y'all are doing great on that side.
Thanks.
Good side on the struggle bus.
You're on the struggle bus.
17.
17, 18.
Mine too.
As you guys enter the cavern, Ted, you would be the first one to notice this because A, you were the first one in there,
You're
and
gonna be in
B,
jail.
And B.
snaky belly. As you climb across a rather large rod or platform of steel on the ground. It's probably about this wide in diameter and comes in like almost like an ivy.
I need to get comfortable with this.
Okay.
And Solomon, you would walk up and see this as well. The cavern in here is perfectly smooth on all sides as it comes up like a crescent.
Is the rod ribbed?
No.
Oh my god.
It's not a rod, it's like a piece of steel that runs deeper.
said rod.
It runs deeper into the cavern and it's shaped like an ivy.
Wow. How wide is this ivy? How wide and long is this rod?
It goes on as far as you can see.
Keep slithering.
And it just down the center of the tunnel.
It's like, wow.
And it's probably about that big wide.
But it's not the whole width.
Well, it's
Of the
like
tunnel.
that. No, it's not the whole width of the tunnel. The tunnel's probably about 60 feet across.
That is a wide tunnel.
It's sufficient. It's sufficient width for the mountain.
It's about the motion of the rod.
You did this.
I'm done now. Y'all lose D&D.
Thanks for joining us.
I
That
don't
was
think I
fun.
can get up.
No, you're on your own, partner.
Really? No one's gonna come back here and help me?
How? You call for a lift assist from
Even if I could, I wouldn't.
The tunnel has a big metal rod in it that doesn't completely fill it. It's not satisfying the mountain. Are we done with the jokes now? Let's move forward.
You're a child.
That poor mountain.
I'm a child?
Yeah.
I'm trying to sufficiently investigate this mountain.
Trying to find out what makes it.
Is it damp in there?
It is not.
Alright.
Moist.
No, it is rather dry and arid.
Are there any cobwebs?
There is not. It seems well maintained.
Oh,
Is there lighting?
There is no foliage outside. Everything was pruned
Is there
well.
proper lighting and
It is. Look,
been properly marked?
it is dimly lit.
So, it's lit.
Dimly lit.
Alright, so I'm still slithering.
So Ted is just slithering away. Anybody want to roll any investigations of what's going on here?
Kid, I thought we just did.
No, it's a perception check just to see things.
Get in there, Michael.
And investigate. You have protein. Why don't you use some of those?
Nat 20.
It didn't seem important.
I got an
Second one
18.
tonight, bro.
Alright, so Snake Form, Ted, and Solomon. Ted, as you're looking, the rail that you're crawling across is inscripted. There's these large runic symbols in gnome kind of carved all the way down.
What they say.
It's an incantation. He wants a pen now. Ted's in, he's taking notes.
What?
It's gnome stuff.
I didn't know you were into that stuff, Justin.
What, being a mummy?
Why is he worried about gnome things?
His backstory.
T-E-D.
Dwarves.
Do you have a pencil?
I do, buddy.
Ted
I
was
do.
constructed by
I'm
gnomes.
just not. I'm not.
He was
mad.
built by
I'm
gnomes to
disappointed.
kill dwarves.
I'm just disappointed.
I'll let it slide.
You're gonna let his backstory slide?
That's not what I said.
Nearly a year into this campaign, and you thought that's how Ted wanted him to be?
No.
You just didn't care?
No, that's not.
I thought there was a mommy Ted and a daddy Ted. And
Bug.
no, the mommy
What are you
Ted
doing?
laid eggs,
I mean, what's that?
and then the daddy Ted
What?
sat on them.
What happened
And
tonight?
grew the baby Ted.
What happened?
I'm very put together. Look how organized these
Justin's
notes
into
are.
was
so
it
what is-
BDSM?
What's the gnome say?
Bible
It's a runic encarvement.
What?
It's runic and carvings enchantments.
Carved.
Enchantments that are carved into basically.
Carved runes.
Yes, it's runes carved into there. Gnome runes carved into there to provide power. It's like an electrical incantation up the rail.
They say anything funny?
It's just
Construction man, like
it's-
signing his name on
no one
the
signed
Empire
it.
State
Yo,
Building.
what up?
No one signed it.
Found my girdle.
Carved runes provide power.
With that, also the room that is dimly lit. Go ahead, make your joke.
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool, thank you.
It's fine.
There is sconces that are kind of built into the wall that are just glowing. They almost emit natural light into the area. It's very, very well illuminated, almost like a subway tunnel.
Alright.
There you go.
So, I see anything else upon the walls of my Nat 20?
They're carved, very smooth done. There's nothing, and this seems to be almost the tail end of it, so it just seems to be finished up,
What do you see, Ted?
finishing work.
I'm gonna keep slithering.
He's a snake. He did, as far as you know, the snake stopped, looked at some things, then kept on slithering.
Man, I got an 18.
You would have seen the sconces.
Well, I would not.
Better.
The runes.
The only reason he sees that is because he's crawling on it with a snaky belly.
I see.
Because you're not short like I thought.
So you guys are just continuing down the tunnel.
Yeah. Seems cool.
All right.
Do we gather it's a subway?
You gather it's some type of. You would have no idea what a subway is.
Well, yes, but
It's a tunnel system with a large metal rail in the middle.
oh, you're right. They have no idea what that is.
This is beyond a lack of understanding. The only person that might have an understanding as to what this is Ted.
Why did they? This is a really dumb pattern. Why would you build your tunnel in just one straight path?
Is this what I think it is?
Not a good home for my people. Sorry.
What do
go
you
ahead.
think it is? Blythe?
The cloud step.
That's what Becca thinks it is.
Oh.
Yeah, Becca, not Blythe. Blythe doesn't know what the fuck this is.
So y'all just continuing down the tunnel system?
Yeah.
All right.
Since I'm so tough,
Oh,
like close to the
jeez.
roof, I'm closest to the roof. Do I notice anything on the roof?
Can I cast
I should say
tongues on
ceiling.
myself to understand snake?
I will allow it because serpentine is a language. Or serpentine is a language.
Serpentine.
Okay.
Yuntai speaks serpentine, so it got turned into an official language. It's like avian being a language for Ericot, which allow you to speak to birds.
Me, your boy.
Erico, Crocra.
Hey,
Ericot,
I didn't know
whatever.
you spoke snake. I didn't.
I can't. Listen.
Again now.
I can right now.
Alright, what's going on? Hey,
Did you find anything?
What, you mean the gnomish carvings, the runes to provide power to this facility?
Yeah, where are those?
Yeah, they're right under me.
He kind of wiggles his belly.
Thank you for...
Did you see the sconces with the natural power? I mean, it didn't glow in this lit area?
I saw the sconces making the room lit.
I like Snarky Snake Ted.
It's the,
It's SS Ted.
It's these carved runes.
Right.
Lawyer Ted.
And you're sure they're made by gnomes?
That's what I said.
Alright.
It's gnomish.
What language?
Gnome law Ted.
I don't know what language you speak.
No, what language do they speak? Gnomish?
Gnomish.
Who's they?
What script is that written in?
Gnomish. Gnomish.
Or gnomish if you're a layman.
Or Shane when he was little.
Does anybody here speak
You
Gnomish?
say all the way.
Oh, you mean Gnomish?
Oh, yeah, okay.
How Ted speaks that?
He does. He does indeed.
Anything else?
Would you mind reading the runes?
They're just runes of power. They don't say nothing. Although that one over there said Spike was here. I don't know who Spike was.
Is there some graffiti? Is that what this is now? There's graffiti in the tunnel.
Do I know Gnomish?
Oh no!
Oh, yikes.
There was once a time when this cave was collapsing because 3 children came through.
No, in my fragmented memory from my past life, I may or may not remember. There might be things whoosh that go whoosh in this area. I don't know what they would be though.
What you doing?
I remember.
His tail's just whipping in front of him.
I remember a great whoosh, whoosh.
I feel like it's very level though. Like he's gesturing.
He says things whoosh through here.
They what?
They whoosh.
You guys are like a mile into this tunnel, by the way.
It's something I remember. I don't know too well.
We're getting off on a really long tangent, and we had a specific amount of days to get somewhere.
That's kind of his fault though.
I'd also
He
like
put
the
the
right
rocks
thing
on
at the end of the tunnel. Like a mile apart.
Well, is heading down this tunnel the right choice for us, or are we just heading down the
Really?
But you just don't speak Spanish.
rock?
Yeah, you understand them.
Not now.
At least I ain't singing, huh?
Not while you're eating salami.
I already ate the salami.
I feel I should sing on this right now.
Singing is important. Listen.
Well, I have you on your own right now. It's part of his culture.
It's cultural diversity awareness for Ted.
You can't be mad at people for what they cook in a microwave.
No, that's wrong. That is wrong.
That was part of my Home Depot training.
Alright, so,
That was the most ridiculous thing.
No, I'm mad at you for last night.
clearly there's nothing whooshing now.
When you beat the shit out of your kitchen and made tacos.
I was whooshing my way along this here line.
How do you know there's not going to be something that gets
I don't know how you make
I have no idea.
microwave angry tacos like
I
you
just
did.
remember a whoosh. That's all I remember.
I don't want to get splattered.
I don't even know if this is correct according to him. I'm just making that shit up.
No, that's fair. No, you're pretty on point right now.
Alright, yeah.
This is pretty solid.
In my snaky belly.
That was pretty solid. That's why I didn't correct you. That's,
Alright, well, let's...
My last gut feeling when I was in my snaky belly, we did alright.
Okay, so things used to go whoosh in here.
From your 18 before, this tunnel is very well maintained.
Things probably still go whoosh in here.
Alright, I'm gonna whoosh back in the tag.
He shoots back into Ted.
I'm trying to see what's at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm not trying to get ran over, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't see anything that would run us over. I just said there was a whoosh.
Are any of you from this portion of the world? No. Okay, now, yeah, never mind. No understanding of
like a
concepts.
bus stop?
What?
Dude,
Is there like a station?
people live in here? What is this?
Well, I mean, I think Spike used to live in here.
Who's that?
Sounds
cool.
He was
Was
here.
it some graffiti?
Spike was
It's
here.
a dick.
Dick balls. Listen. Let's go. We're already. Look how deep we are in here. If something goes whoosh, where are we gonna go
That's
anyway?
fine.
Might as well keep going.
Let's continue to explore the
I'm not sure I like where this is headed.
cavern.
Hey, Rocket.
So y'all continue
What are the rocks doing?
north on the tunnel.
That's correct.
Alright.
Would you like me to check?
Does that mean you gotta sing?
I'll go ahead and check. I'd like to touch the gravel.
I'm gonna be
and sing a song of my people to Ted.
You rat bastard!
Roll a religion check.
15.
15. As you kind of reach into the earth, you reach out, kind of trying to sense out into the world. You can feel this tunnel kind of snakes and serpents through the mountain. And you can feel there's other tunnels above you, and it kind of spreads all the way across this thing. As your reach continues further and further, it's halted abruptly, like you hit something solid. As you get this sense of probably about 13 or 14 Genasi and Genasi and other creatures of some type of earth elemental, probably a good 4 or 5 miles from you.
Where we came from, or this is different from where we
Towards you, heading deeper into the mountain.
But it's not like the arena thing.
No, it's like on level with you guys. It's probably about 4 miles up.
Okay, I'll snap back and...
To reality?
It seems like a few miles up there's some earth elementals and Genasi up there.
Cool. Let's go talk to him.
Do we go?
Or
I'm always for going to meet more of my brethren.
Oh shit, you're one of them?
Yes, I'm an earth Genasi.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, and the fire giant too. It's
Wait, what? And? How much is you?
half and half.
Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Times is changing. It's alright.
It's current year.
It's alright to be half and half.
I don't think I was born of a loveless
throw this out
union.
there again.
Or a love-filled union.
aren't we on a timeline?
Are you saying you were born this way?
I think
Yes.
we're on the right track, though. Okay.
I was trying to think of the next line. I couldn't. Thank you.
I'm gonna go back to the board a minute.
Somebody put a pile of rocks in the middle of nowhere that leads to a cavern in a mountain.
Correct.
That man is in this room right now.
I am that man.
I am that
I'm
distraction.
pointing him out. Yes, I can point him out. He sits there.
Point on the doll where I hurt you all. And you just can't trust anything I do.
What's Justin pointing at? His heart?
Hold on, I have a doll in here.
Oh, it's the creepy Amish doll.
Point at the entire. Whoa. Why is there no face?
The Amish doll.
Because Amish people, children can project their own emotions into a faceless doll.
Shannon, I'm pointing.
How though?
The whole doll?
Are you pointing to all of it?
All of it.
Oh.
Especially here in the
Dun.
heart.
So we're
Dun,
walking, right?
dun, dun. Well, no encounter tonight, guys.
It was just that easy.
So we're walking.
You walking? All right.
Look, we beaten feet.
No more coming.
Is there enough room for me to hover?
Yeah, it's a 60-foot tall tunnel.
I'm a hover.
You just riding on your carpet?
That's true.
Just standing like Magneto and X-Men. Just like,
I can imagine him doing that shit.
I could see Solomon turning the carpet into a cape, and that's how he would travel.
It's like choking a dragon.
Built into the armor and just lifts the armor up.
I didn't know that was a possibility.
I'm okay with it.
That's a pretty good possibility.
ooh,
You wouldn't be able to have other people use the magic carpet with you, but I'm 100% okay with it.
it's a bird.
He's like, for the opportunity to be Super Solomon.
Everybody's too heavy.
Super Solomon. There's a little F.
Things go wrong in combat, he gets lifted off, lightning starts arcing off of him. Let's do this. Solomon, you're really badass and you're about to disappoint somebody.
I think you forgot me casting Call Lightning last week.
Yeah, you did kill some harpies. Alright,
So we're walking.
so y'all headed deeper into the tunnel?
No.
There
Timeline.
There is strife within the party. Discuss.
The other elementals you sensed.
Yes. It's called the Reach.
Right.
It's got a name.
You can't get around it though.
Approximately how far away are they?
About 5 miles.
So that would take us how long to...
You guys move probably about 3-4 miles an hour at a walking pace.
So...
If you pick up the pace a little bit, you can get there in probably about an hour.
I can literally
I'm a
forever.
what? 20 minutes to walk a mile.
Yeah, just about 15 minutes.
Yeah, 10
So I'm
minutes.
saying about an
10
hour.
minutes to run a mile.
It took me 20 minutes in high school to walk a mile.
Well,
That was the
That's
choice.
a normal pace walk, though.
Yeah, that's a normal pace walk. That's with no urgency whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I was talking.
I feel like at a normal pace you walk.
So a 15-minute mile.
I was gonna say like 12.
No, because a 10-minute mile is...
10 minutes is like a really good mile.
No,
A 12-minute mile is a rough running mile.
10-minute miles a jog.
I can literally jog forever.
I'm getting a
solid pace
nosebleed.
for a mile's like 6.
I'm jogging.
Military, your entry is 8, I want to say.
How fast is my elephant walk?
Are you
Did you bring the elephant in the tunnel?
It's a 60-foot tunnel. How big's an elephant? Not 60 feet.
I rode one the other day.
That he did.
It was not 60 feet. It was only about 30. And I was terrified I was going to lose it, Amelia.
I would have never forgiven you.
If Amelia fell off an elephant, Rebecca, I don't think I would come home.
I would have felt real bad because Amelia didn't want to get on that elephant.
She was really excited
That
when
was
she
not
did.
in her agenda.
When she did, she was excited.
Yeah,
but,
she was very
but prior to that, no, she did not want to ride an elephant.
I'm jogging down the
So we
hall.
can get to
Do you want to ride the elephant? Not really. Tell your
Yeah,
sister.
about
Tell
an
your
hour.
sister she needs to ride the elephant,
So-
Julia.
Nah.
Ride the elephant.
I can literally-
Okay.
Yeah, about an hour.
Literally
There's
running.
a floor.
Why don't we just see what they're doing? Check them out. Maybe we don't even have to engage them.
Maybe they're slaves and we have to free them.
What is this? Our fucking musical episode today?
That's a,
Justin, write us some songs. We're doing a musical episode.
Greatest adventure.
We can fucking do it.
that's gonna be a catcher question, Torah.
What's the catch your question? I'm sorry.
Slavery one.
Freeing slaves. I am always 100% for freeing slaves.
And I'm gonna start dredging on.
I am also pro freeing slaves, but we need to free the one princess first.
I'm already moving.
Queen Blythe, I'm sorry that they did not respect your authority and wait to hear your discussion. But I think we should try to keep up.
Why is that an elephant? By the way, just to bring this back to that, as this conversation is happening, you were hearing echoing through the fucking tunnel.
So the no will come.
Time limit.
That's a cool ass elephant.
Alright, language, but yeah.
What's his name?
Hey!
Stealth is optional.
Trunks.
You just made Shane the happiest boy in the world.
This is gonna be the mini for the elephant now.
It's gonna be a giant Trunks toy.
I'm not gonna take him out of the package. Not right now. There we go. Trunks mini.
It's not mini.
That don't look like an elephant.
I'm gonna come up with a new name for my
No,
elephant.
it's already decided.
No.
Princess Trunks.
Blythe.
Your hair smells like strawberries. What's that, boy?
I can't hear you from down here.
I'm gonna increase my pace to my maximum speed.
So you guys are jogging. You guys are moving and grooving.
We're beating
I'm
feet.
hovering.
So over the course of about the next 45 minutes to an hour, give or take, the
I've been training on a fucking mountain for the past 2 years, my guy.
the cavern begins to go at a little bit of an incline. Probably nothing crazy. Kind of goes and levels back out after a little bit.
How long does my elephant stay an elephant?
I want to say it's for a bit.
I thought it was like 6 days, 7 days, something like that.
Shit.
No, that's how long the reset is.
Man,
a lot
I
of
should have
elephant.
used it already.
Right.
The marble elephant.
They're beefy though.
He becomes an elephant for 24 hours,
Oh shit.
and then needs 7 days to recover.
The seventh day, the elephant rested.
So,
There are no more worlds to conquer.
so as you guys begin reaching the top of this incline, it begins to the tunnel system kind of opens up. You can see that there is windows, large panes, or large openings within the tunnel system. You can actually see another tunnel running adjacent to you. It's probably a good 30 feet between this kind of gap between them.
Oh.
And you see there's probably about 3 or 4 people running on that tunnel as well.
By yourself.
Sorry, say
Hold
that
on,
last part
I'm
again.
gonna skid to a halt.
What was that last part again?
There's about 3 or 4 people running in that tunnel as well.
Towards us?
They're running like there's like 2 tunnels that are kind of converging,
Okay.
and you can see like holes through like the caverns, and you can see them running as well.
So I went.
So you come to a stop.
Scooby-Doo style, like stop.
And then I'm gonna.
I'm gonna back up real quick to the gap.
Okay,
Poke my head over.
they keep on running. They don't seem to stop.
Did y'all see that?
What can we pick up any details?
Humanoid in shape. It's kind of because of the dim lighting and stuff like that. It's difficult to kind of get a
Humanoid
solid.
shaped people, because of the dim lighting, was running in the other tunnel.
It's hard to get a real good feed on. We only saw him for a moment,
Very specific. Now
but you did all see it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we all saw.
Except for maybe Blythe, because you know she's lounged on an elephant.
Probably not.
How far away were they? Probably not Blythe.
She looks like she's
There's probably
pretty
about
lounge on
60
an
foot gap
elephant.
between the tunnels. There was kind of like an opening like between caves and stuff like that, so you could see this other tunnel.
I'm gonna yell through it. Hey!
Ted's yelling.
Can we name this episode A?
A-Y?
Blank.
Hey, I think they're racing us. I'm gonna take off. As fast as I can.
You're gonna
Ted just starts running.
Ted, wait.
It's a race!
I'll follow after Ted.
Okay.
I don't think it was.
I think we're checking.
I am fast like bull.
So Ted runs off. Anybody following Ted?
I'll follow Ted.
I will hover behind it.
Blythe, what are you doing? Just riding the elephant at the elephant space? Alright, Blythe's taking up the rear on the on the caboose.
How far away am I from her?
Probably like 30 feet. She's keeping up. Elephant's move speed, I want to say it's like 40 or 50, just because of the size of them.
Yeah.
So she keeps up. It's just you guys get a little bit of distance ahead. So y'all start running. Roll me perception checks based off sight.
At advantage?
Not for you,
Why?
because you don't have an item that gives you advantage on perception checks.
How do you know? You don't know my life. You don't know the things I have.
I botched.
Good elephant.
I keep putting this dice on a 20 to try and get it used to being a big number. It's struggling though.
I got an 11.
You are lounging on your elephant, relaxing, as Torok, you are distracted by the
22.
number of caves that seem to be opening up here. It reminds you almost of home.
I'm concerned with Ted. I got a 6.
I got a 22. I got advantage on my perception check. Shield.
Oh yeah.
I love the
8.
shield.
So Ted, you're the only one that knows this. It makes sense because you are also the front of the pack.
Yeah, it does.
As you come up this last little incline, you can see that there is a large, almost station built out. You can see these large platforms on either side, very well illuminated,
Just
very well lit. The area is brightly lit as light kind of comes down into the tunnel, and you see there is probably a good 200 to 300 people standing in this platform.
I'm gonna do another.
As you come to a halt.
You're gonna bump into the back of Ted because I'm not paying attention.
By people, what do you mean?
A eclectic gathering of humans, elves, tieflings, giants, Goliaths.
Human beings.
Yep. It is just a hodgepodge of about 300 to 400 people gathered in this area.
How far away?
You guys are probably about 20 feet out, 20, 30 feet out.
Hey!
A couple people look back at you.
Ted, what are you yelling at?
People.
I will say with your roll, most of them are armored, equipped to some level, bows, stuff like that.
What y'all doing?
Somebody laughs and kind of waves at you for a minute, and then they go back to their conversation.
I think he besmirched you.
Did this man besmirch me?
He did.
I feel like
you did besmirch.
I feel like you've been besmirched.
You could have left a filibuster.
So you're walking up to him?
Yeah, go on.
Cheers me.
Is anybody else walking into this gathering with
I
Ted?
feel like I should follow Ted. And seeing the armor-clad people, I follow with a
I'm meandering.
stern look on my
Are
face.
you staying on the elephant?
Why would I get off the elephant?
So
honestly.
as all these people are gathered, you see this elephant start walking. Everybody starts looking. What the fuck brings a goddamn elephant? We're in a cave. What the hell's going on? You hear some person? I think I recognize her. She's a queen or something. I don't know why she's here. General small talk starts going on as an elephant walks into this station area.
Prince Ali, fabulous Ali
That's
of
basically what's happening.
Bagua.
Everyone's attention is on
He's like
Blythe.
the monkeys.
I'm doing my best to put on a intimidating presence as I stand behind
So
Ted.
Ted, you're walking up to the dude that ignored you.
Inside.
I'm intimidating AF.
You walk up and you tap on his shoulder and he goes, "What do you want, Tin Man?"
What was that?
Push the tin button.
What do you want,
Is he wearing armor?
Tin Man? He is.
I'm gonna heat metal.
Okay.
Or as we like to call it, yeet metal.
I know what it does.
You see the armor start to.
But I'm gonna act on nonchalant, like, I don't know.
Sits there for a
I was
minute.
just trying to figure out what was going on here.
He waves his hand as the spell gets dispelled.
What's going on in here, dude?
It's the gathering for the tournament. I assumed you would know what the fuck it is.
You assumed a lot of us.
You know what?
You
So we got to where we needed to be
You-
without knowing where we.
ran the Cloudstep tunnels. How do you not know where you're going?
Yes.
Some of
The
that was
first-
slithered.
The first leg of the race was to interact with one of the 5 clans in the Bloodmoors to get the clue to look through one of the gates.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Bloodmoor.
I mean, naturally we know that.
Of course we did.
Okay. Part of it was slithery.
Stop.
No. Hello.
So, yes, the first challenge is done.
Yeah.
Other fellow tournamentee.
Yeah, it's tournament day.
Are we allowed to leave the area now? And come back?
It's Taraco now.
What's going on now?
Because, remember, we're too powerful to be here this early. Oh, we need to go to lock first to not let everyone be intimidated away.
You're big fella. He keeps on grunting at me. I don't know if he's trying to.
I've got pretty good intimidations.
You want to give it a roll?
Yeah.
Just don't let him sing at you.
Oh, I got a modded 20.
He seems annoyed by you. Kind of like he just doesn't want to interact with you. It's like the most baseline level of intimidation ever.
Okay.
We got here about noon. There was a pretty decent crowd here before us.
Yeah.
But
Which part of the region you're from?
I'm from the Glacial Mounts.
Glacial Mounts.
I'm near the Frost Irons.
Rust Marsh.
Rust Marsh. Heard there's a lot of slavery out there.
Yeah, not a big fan.
I want to say the group comes from over near Twin Peaks. We talked to them for a few minutes, and I want to say there's a couple groups kind of spattered in from the Crimson Sands.
Oh! We have done some business.
I don't think we're welcome there no more.
Alright.
So this is all material plane competitors.
Yeah, it's about 300 that are going to be competing for the initial seats.
You know what we're gonna do? Our competition.
So far, they haven't said. There's supposed to be a curator that's supposed to be here the next couple hours.
Right up his sleeve. Well,
And it's not 10. By the way,
he's not made out of tape.
it's not 10. I don't think it's 10.
He's still like, I don't know.
Not 10.
I'm 40% dolomite.
Bender?
Who is not engaged in this man in conversation? Blythe and Solomon?
I am not.
Roll perception checks on you two.
At advantage, because we're just observing.
Fortnite dancing?
He's flossing.
Blythe, I will give you an additional D6 for the Night Terrors.
Whoa.
What?
We'll see. See what you get.
Damn it.
What?
Hello?
It's just like the switch on.
19. Is it you said perception?
Yeah.
23.
21. So as they're talking, Blythe, you're sitting upon the mighty steed that is BJ. You want to switch it back to Blythe Jr.?
Trunks.
Like
Trunks.
Junior.
Oh.
Princess Trunks.
For now.
But, as you
PJ.
whatchamacallit, are looking around, Solomon kind of floating relatively next to you, the two of you kind of scanning through the crowd, you see there is a rather large figure, probably about 60 or 70 feet away from you, and seems to be looking in your direction. The body kind of wrapped almost in appearance, kind of almost dome shape on the top with legs that come out the bottom. You see this other rather large imposing figure, probably standing about 6'8", scar tattoos all the way up his body and his neck, that just immediately looks at you. You see a small smile and smirk, and as you see this smile, the white hands kind of hanging out, just kind of looking at you, as you see Alex kind of begin rolling a knife back and forth across her hands as she's looking at you.
So it's the 7?
You only see 3 of them.
How many?
3.
as you and Solomon see them on the other side of the room, just kind of looking at you.
So,
Do you think things are about to get frisky?
Like,
Not the good guy.
yes.
So,
what's this guy's name that I'm talking to? Because now I'm like plying him with tall tales, and then I says to the guy, I says, "Dwarf, I'm gonna kill you."
he's human. He's young. He's probably like 17, 18 years old.
Oh, a little jitterbug.
Seems to have a decent amount of casting ability. He has a spell book kind of hanging from one side of him as a blade on the other side. And he looks at you and he goes,
I said to this dwarf, he tried twice.
You don't
Do we know that?
You don't try teeth twice.
You don't.
Okay.
You can ask the others.
Well, I'm only put for notes.
Oh,
Do
for
as the
notes?
table know who it is.
Do you guys know who the third one is?
White hands.
No. The white hands is Alex.
Olime, and then it's the forearm guy, Goro. His name isn't Goro.
It's Goro now.
I have it.
It's in England.
Ferric.
Ferric, thank you.
He looks at you and he goes, Donovan. He offers you a hand.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, Donovan?
He looks at you and he kind of shakes and he goes, this is gonna be hell, isn't it?
Yeah.
It ain't
Should
gonna
be
be
fun though.
It ain't gonna be worse than the squids though. Ain't nothing worse than that.
1,000 yards.
They say that whatever team makes it, they got a pretty lofty little living quarter. So hopefully we'll meet you there.
Can I send a
See,
message to
No,
Ketra
no,
that
Solomon, don't disrupt. We're doing things right now. You're going to make it less intimidating.
Solo man, Jim. No.
Can I send a message to Ketra that they're here?
Yeah.
Meet Donovan here.
It's a whisper in his ear.
Yeah, I know. I'm enjoying my chaos. The good ear, of course. 3 of the 7 are here. Thank you, Dubs.
I smell
I'm gonna do like a 360.
You can't see them. They're in the crowd. The only reason these two can see him is because they're elevated. She's on an elephant. He's floating.
I'm gonna go.
So Donovan and his 2 party members kind of walk into the crowd to go introduce themselves and start talking to other people. As you guys are together.
Shit. Rude. Hope we get the
He's
kids
here,
later.
Ted.
What?
He's here.
Host.
Wallace.
I know my Wallace.
Charging into the crowd.
Oh,
Wallace.
is this that Heavenly 7 that you all keep talking about?
I'm already in the crowd. Wallace.
I don't want to talk about him.
Oh, why are we doing
It's
this?
a Sharkman, right? Yeah, Shark. Oh, where's the Sharkman at?
So Kendra is now just yelling into the crowd for Wally May.
Hey, Solo man.
You have to.
Are we gonna follow him?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, we're gonna follow him.
Let's,
Donovan, it's been a pleasure to meet you. I'm not really an intimidating person. Okay, goodbye.
Whatever, nerd.
he's real rude. He's a rude type. He's gonna die later. Don't worry about it. He's gonna die. He's not gonna. His life is
Gonna
done.
step it up.
So Blight, Solomon, are you doing anything as Ketra is now pushing through the crowd trying to find Wally May?
I'm just still observing.
I'm not gonna yell it
Being
a million times, but I'm gonna actively be looking.
Oh, I took out my house.
You're gonna do turn yourself into Wally May just to calm Ketra down?
No. I think that would have the opposite of that. I was just gonna.
So, pushing through the crowd, eventually, Ketra, you do run into Wally May, Ferric, and Alex as they're kind of leaned up, kind of seated in a portion of the platform.
I'm gonna pull out a cup of liquid and go.
Do that?
I see this being his water skin.
Where'd you get that?
You told us you were out of water.
I mean, I don't even drink water, and where'd you get that?
It's all water.
Why'd you keep it though?
Anyway, I'm gonna gesture towards.
The 3 of them are just kind of sitting there, and then you get a wicked smile on Wally May as you guys come walking
I
up.
thought I smelled fish, but I thought it was from the creek we passed. Turns out it was just you.
Hello.
That was a real long time ago, though. So, in all honesty, I don't know.
They kind of sit there, and Wally May stands up, and he goes, "So, we're gonna be fighting on the same side this time."
I still don't like your accent.
Just think the 3 of us, 5 of you.
What's up, Sharkman?
Team for the material plane.
I mean,
Sits here and he goes, "Hey, Ted."
Yeah.
I just met you.
Offers
But
you a hand. Shakes his hand.
We're,
To me.
He's the one who made your arm try to kill you? I wasn't here for that.
we're done.
He bit it.
We're done blowing cities up, right?
Damn.
I mean, we are.
They're opening.
We're here.
Great.
All the fool working on some other projects.
We already know. I was there in the desert.
What do you mean in the desert?
Remember when we talked?
Wow.
I wasn't in no desert.
We were in the. It was on the outskirts of Blythtopia.
Who names a city that?
Elephant.
Remember we were in the ruins.
Farrah kind of stands up and he goes, "You more than likely only spoke to Atticus there.
Yeah, I spoke to Attic.
Illusions.
Illusions, Michael.
It can be complicated."
I see. So I met Atticus.
What do you think?
I don't know.
He's a great lawyer.
Hard to get a feel for the guy.
Yeah. Usually most of you just kind of want to kill me, so it felt weird.
I think excluding Wally May, no one has directly wanted to kill you yet. Alex has this wicked smile on her face as she's just rolling a scalpel across her fingers.
That's not normal.
Yeah, come on. What, you know, why is that even out?
She kind of jumbles her jacket a little bit. She goes, "Because it's going to be a competition, and I have so many samples." Roll a perception check, Solomon, with your 360 degree division.
Fucking cutting people to the ground.
You do see a couple people here and there with small little nicks on them and stuff like that.
I killed myself.
Why?
Because it's going to be fun. It's a game.
Oh, what's the game?
We're going to see how many people we can make not make it to the finals.
I feel like there's other ways of going about that.
I feel like the finals are just going to do that on their own.
I feel like I'm brand new here, but she seems uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, she's weird.
She looks at you and she hops up and she goes,
No, don't let it touch you.
"Hey."
Don't let it touch you.
He doesn't have blood. Get away.
Go on. Can I have a squirt bottle?
She looks at you and she goes, "You don't bleed?"
No, I bleed. It's just
Dude, why did you tell her you bleed?
I don't believe.
because but
You believe? What do you believe?
Stop.
This could be interesting.
Oh, do you bleed gold?
no.
Do you bleed out like people?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I've never stung a person up to see what happens.
It's nice knowing you, Tara.
Well, I've heard Gensei before. Typically,
Did they bleed? I don't bleed.
Oh, you'd be fun. Farrah, keep me fun. You see Farrah. Farrah looks and he goes, "Later. Later. For now, we need to eye out the rest of the competition. Go." And the two of them stand up and walk away as Farrah just continues sitting there.
I mean,
Later, Waters.
Gives you a thumbs up and a nod.
See ya, Shark.
With the arm, like with the left arm, the one that he bit off of you, he kind of does like this.
Look, I don't mean to challenge any authority, but your friend might be a sociopath. It's important to address those things early with young children so that you can.
Wally May's aggressive, but I wouldn't call him Wally May is aggressive, but I would not call him a sociopath.
No, he's a sociopath.
No, he is
No. The child.
Psychopath.
Alex? Yes, she is troubled. We've been working on it more, but
I wouldn't trust her with a knife. You can start.
well, she also has claws, so can't take those away.
You get to call.
Your friends did not prepare you for the situation you find yourself in, did they?
No, they did. I chose not to believe the things they said, and but I'm becoming very aware that they are very correct.
Turok, you're hurtful, and now.
I'd like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Not them?
No.
All people deserve it.
No.
God.
Petra,
This gentleman seems kind.
it's been a pleasure catching up.
Do you know what this next battle is?
From my understanding, the first few trials aren't a battle. It's more to see if you can make it to the battle.
Why are people congregating here now? The trials I thought didn't start for 7 days.
The trials take place over the next 7 days.
The blood moon doesn't start for 7 days, and then it's 7 days long.
The trials start as soon as enough people are gathered in each location.
I don't understand this rules. Okay, understood.
The trials take 7 days. The last day that you could arrive is the start of the blood moon.
I see, okay.
More than likely, whoever told you that was giving you the expectation of additional training or preparedness. Or they...
Maybe I wanted to go see Locke. I was
Or they
curious.
were skirting the dead end, the ends themselves, and only believed that the blood moon was the opportunity.
I feel hurted.
The
Like cattle.
The other possibility is you can leave and attempt to find another gathering and hope that enough contestants make it there. They say there's 7 curators scattered across the Cloudsteps that'll be doing these organizations until we're all gathered in one location.
Like a directory? There's a redundant question. I know there isn't one.
Since we found one location, can't we just get a map to all the other ones?
Shut up!
I'm kind of surprised that you all found this one. I assumed that you hadn't made it into the Blood Moors.
Yes. The Blood Wars.
We went there.
Totes.
Really?
I'm assuming you have not made it into the Blood Moors because Ketra is still with the party and does not even seem nearly as troubled as I assumed he would be.
No, he made peace with his demons.
All of them.
What's going on in the Blood Wars?
So you did not make it to the Blood Moors?
No.
Do you have any representation from one of the Blood clans to give you access to the first trial?
What's in the Blood Wars?
The 5 clans of blood.
Do I know the 5?
You would know the 5 clans.
Said I'd be troubled.
You would need someone from one of the 5 clans to vouch for you. It'd have to be a chieftain or king, depending on the rank structure within one of the clans.
Is I know who a king?
Who?
From the Rust Marsh?
The Rust Marsh is south of the Blood Moors. They're not part of the Blood Moors.
Okay.
So we're not prepared for this tournament then, what you're saying.
We have up to 7 days to... We have up to the Blood Moon to get back here. About 7 days.
And hope there's enough people gathered for you to participate.
Well, we'll gather a town. We got luck. And paper. I'm just gonna nod. You didn't have to tell us this, but I appreciate it.
It's more interesting to have you all in this tournament than not. Atticus also has a strange level of dedication to you all.
That's interesting as well. Alright. I'm gonna kind of pat him on the shoulder as I...
He stands up and he's haunting to look at. Like, he's got black eyes with yellow pupils, grayed skin, he's cold to the touch. Like, he's not a good thing to look at. He looks just
Spooky.
yeah, he looks almost zombie-like. As he stands up, he goes, "You won't make it to the Blood Moors and back in time."
Well, any other way we can go?
Find someone with lineage to one of the clans.
Do I know what the 5 clans are?
You've heard them. If you took the notes, we discussed them a few sessions ago.
For the Blood Clan?
The Blood Moors? The 5 clans of the Blood Moors? I mean, you know the 5 clans of the Blood Moors.
Okay. Blood Tournament, Unspoken Assassin Drow, Lazarus.
You guys did not know that you needed to go to the Blood Moors. You hadn't gotten that information. If you would have made it into the whatchamacalls, you would have gotten that information.
Lock?
Not Locke.
Thunderhood?
No,
Black Stag.
the Black Stag would have given you that information if you would have gotten there.
Okay. Are the
He
what is it?
detoured.
Are they blood? Is the blood families something that Justin knows?
The 5 blood clans is something that Justin had to deal with before.
As Finn?
Yes. Those are your 5 clans.
What is the Stag clan?
Are the druids one of the clans? But they were
Black Stags.
the Black Stags. The
Are
freaking.
they the fucking werewolves? The tiger, the alligator.
It's the 5 things we fought: the stag, the spider, the big mouth.
Wait, I'm a direct lineage of one of the blood. Justin.
Oh,
There we go.
Fuck.
well, maybe we could find someone in Locke who happens to know what we need to know.
Son of a bitch. My phone's dead. I don't know where we are on time or anything.
We're at
10:23.
10:30.
Wait, I'm the blood guy though.
Do you know your lineage?
I know the Savage. I'm related to the Savage King.
Who was?
Because I read the books. The books talked about the Savage King and then.
Who united the 5 tribes of the Bloodmores?
I know that.
Mhm.
And it's been confirmed for me.
In the past, who you are.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go. I don't think we're gonna have trouble going to the Blood Wars, guys. I don't think we have to go.
Why?
I'm the ticket in.
What?
You're not that special, Keter.
Wow.
Thanks, Rob.
Weren't you the one that said a few minutes ago that everybody should appreciate who they are or something?
Right. Don't build yourself up to be false things. Jeez. Torok's a realist.
Okay. Well, we can attempt to stay here, or we could try to find the safe that Fennec talked about and lock. Or we just completely just took a big shortcut and we could just do this.
I feel like
I feel like we need to go along.
we just cut 7 days off our journey. We need to just accept this gift from God. And
This was not a gift from God.
But how do we know?
Forward.
This was a something that I had put in place and figured they're not gonna go this deep into the cave. I assumed you guys would have walked in initially, saw that it went on for a while, and then said, "Let's go handle what they need to handle someplace else."
That's what I wanted to do.
How would you not figure I would go into the cave?
No, I knew you would go in. I didn't think you guys were gonna go to the end.
But you
Why
being
would the
you,
cave?
does that get all of us in?
You said you need a pass in, direct lineage, right?
Yeah, but does that only count for you?
He holds up his hand, and you see the crest of Wally May scarred into his hand. Used to be the king. He got pushed out.
So how do I prove that I'm
Blood. When Curator gets here, we'll find one of the other representatives.
And for the rest of us?
Barrow's Mark. Brand from Ketra will get you access.
Right there.
Can I have a temporary tattoo? I want a temporary one.
Sure. It'll be temporarily permanent.
My body is a temple. I will not scar it up with yours.
I hope you drown a whole bag of onions on the way over here. My body's a temple.
I was feeding my temple what it needed.
Ferric stands up and he goes, "It'd be good to have some more interesting competition in this." See, pats you on the back. He goes, "Don't get lost. Stay on the initial path." So he walks off.
So,
At this point, do we need to go to Locke?
There was supposed to be a powerful ally for us there.
possibly. If
Yeah,
can
but
convince them.
we don't control who's on which team though. There's a very solid chance it's me, him, and 3 people of the darn Heavenly Seven.
Why you?
We probably win.
The gosh darn
That's a figure of speech.
No.
Like place like no. If anybody's jumping ship on this party,
We totally win too. You know that. Sorry, but win. Have you seen that one?
Do you want to be
are
fighting?
you putting a Ferric or Wally May?
Ferry.
I'm just saying. You just
We already
asked
shot
for it
Wally
to
May
us
kick
out.
your ass.
I'm not saying that.
He hasn't beat me twice.
Really hard at your arm, though. Try not to look like a
He's looking
It knows when you. It's twitching. It knows when you look at it.
He's staring at your arm and looking at Wally Man in the crowd, looking back at your arm. Like, it's very obvious that you see Ted's head because his head moves.
Stop looking at my arm.
Hey!
I'm gonna look for this cure.
I guess we should have figured out what happens if we pass the tournament trials now. Do we have to stay wherever the tournament is, or can we go back to luck after that?
We can ask the curator. We can ask one of the. Do we have people like walking around that are like official?
You
Hey,
Look for the yellow vests.
walking around, you do see people that are in this kind of very obviously colored uniforms. It's kind of this very vibrant kind
you're
of
dressed like a highlighter.
Hey!
Hey.
Staff man!
Staffman.
This guy walks up. This guy runs up to you and he goes, "Oh, did anybody check your registration yet?"
No, we were actually trying to figure that out.
You bear the mark of one of the blood clans.
I have the blood of one of the blood clans.
Oh, direct lineage. We have a couple of those out here today. It's pretty exciting.
Really? Who? From where?
Wally May's out here,
Yeah.
which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's Wally. Wallace.
You have Ericon. She's over there, and you see this woman that has these long spider legs kind of trendled off of her back, hooked into the ground.
Flashbacks. Okay.
And rumor is one of the Black Stags is competing this year. We haven't seen him yet, but we're really excited.
So does that
What's his name?
him an abomination?
We don't have any
There's a
names
shark
yet.
person.
We're trying to get documentation.
Spider
Is it
lady.
Quavarius? Is it Quavarius?
First of all,
Is it Karma Chameleon?
Come.
he is a
comes and
damn
goes.
deerman!
You okay over there?
What is happening?
No, I'm so uncomfortable.
He's a deerman.
He goes,
It's on the mid.
so what clan do you lay lineage to?
It's kind of embarrassing to say in front of everyone.
You don't look like the brothers.
No.
The Sand.
The brothers, no, not the, like, they
I don't see any obvious gills. I'm assuming you're not one of the shark folk. You also don't appear to have any long-term... Oh, the half-orcs. Most of that clan's been wiped out. There's only a few left that weren't wiped out when the full clans turned against them.
Yeah, I'm a relative of Lorik.
The Savage King, the conqueror of the of the 5 kingdoms.
Yeah, I'm like a distant relative.
Sadly, distance may cause problems. It needs to be within 2 or 3 generations.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close to that. Should we do the test? I don't know if there's like a test. I don't know what his favorite food was or something. Probably.
There is a test that can be done. If you just give me a moment, I'll grab the equipment that needs to be done first.
Yeah.
Is this your party that will be entering with you?
Yeah, these are my boys.
They'll need to wear your brand or insignia of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Already got it.
Temporary?
It needs to be a marking that shows that they are bound to the Savage clans. It's more or less how we show dedication to the cause, or to the tournament.
Do you have like a picture book I can look at the marking of the Savage Clan?
With the Savage King dead, depending on your heir, you will see what lineage you lie, and we'll go from there. He kind of runs off. He's this younger, kind of very extremely built half elf. Very small, lanky man as he goes running
I'm
off.
having an existential crisis.
Problems.
As you guys are gathered,
Aren't you like a son or something, probably?
Yes, sure, I don't know.
Oh, okay, so we'll pass this up.
first test that's 100% passable in D&D that I can't take away from you. A DNA test.
I knew I should have had that useless one tattoo that on me.
When it comes to
Can't you take a
35-year-old
DNA
Petro
test?
Mark, you are the father.
100%.
That's savage.
So,
Fuck, I come back.
probably about 5 minutes or so, he comes back with a small bowl and this kind of crude-looking Chris. He goes,
What's that, dude?
I need to borrow your forearm.
I'm sorry, what?
Your forearm, not the metal one that won't work. It needs to be something, of yours.
What about his leg?
Full Metal Ketchup.
I mean, typically we do arms just because they're a little bit easier to expose. If you want to take off your pants here, you're more than welcome to. I guess. He takes the blade, he puts the boulder, and he just slices down the side of your arm, and it starts pretty heavily bleeding.
I'm gonna let you know, I have stabbed myself in the side before.
And he fills this little chalice with Ketra's blood as he goes, okay, just give me a few minutes. We're gonna go through this process and we'll go from there. He kind of puts it on a little table.
I'll lay on hands, Ketra.
Does everyone have any orange slices?
It does about 10 to 15 points of damage. It does about 15 points of damage as he just slices deep into your arm.
Yeah, I'll lay on hands.
Thank you. Ow.
He puts it on a small table in front of you, and he sits there for a few minutes.
I'm gonna look over his shoulder intently.
And the blood kind of sits, and it begins to ripple and move. And he goes, Sir, we just need to know, does this blood belong to a direct lineage or not? We just need to make sure we show things up.
Yeah, no, it's direct lineage, my guy.
Long pause, and you hear this. I have a son still out there that's not dead. Heard the rest were genocided out.
I'm sorry, are you making that voice or?
The blood's just rippling.
Nerd. Explain this, nerd.
So, sir, you're saying that this is your son? I just want to make sure that we clarify that.
Wait, is this my dad?
Sir, I am in the middle of an important conversation. I mean,
No.
Good to meet you, Mr. Ketchup.
Not call him Mr. Ketra.
All right, Mr. Leork, thank you so much for this. Mr. Leork.
Leork. That's his last name? Leork?
Leork was his name.
Oh, Lorik. We call him Larry.
Yeah, you guys called him Larry and Larry, and you guys do this thing where you mock whatever I say, no matter how I say it. So it's just
It was Larry.
And he sits there and he goes, "Thank you so much." And he goes, "Spill blood for our clan's name. It gives me gifts down here.
Okay.
Can I help you?"
Have you been getting the gifts before? I've been killing a lot of things.
No, but the blood tournament feeds us.
Who's us?
Thank you, my son.
Oh, God.
As it stops rippling, and the blood kind of coagulates and then steams.
He said son.
He looks back at you and he goes, "That's fantastic news that you're a direct lineage of the Storm King, or of the Savage King. It's not often that we get direct lineage. I mean, Woleme is kind of important, a big deal, but he was disbanded by his clan. It's just weird."
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk.
That's gonna actually brand you with this one. He kind of flips through a little book for a minute and picks out this metal seal as he begins to heat it in his hand.
Oh.
And he goes, typically we do shoulders for direct lineage, that way you can kind of show it off a little bit, but you got a whole lot of thing going on there. Is there someplace else we want to put this?"
Nowhere.
Butt cheek.
Butt cheek.
No.
You got some cheek exposed.
No. I'm gonna lift up the shirt, and where that giant scar is from where where I stabbed is, I would assume it's just the giant.
Yeah, it'd be a giant line. Looks and he goes, "All right, hang on. This is gonna hurt for just a second." As he sticks it into your side, and he brands you. And he pulls it back and
I
he
have
goes,
a minor PTSD of being branded previously.
He looks and he goes, "All right, that brands you. So we just need to, you need to mark the rest of your group. You can choose how you wish to do it."
Ted Mir.
You can choose how you wish to do it. We do have other brands available, tattoo artists that are kind of scattered throughout, or you can just simply buy necklaces and charms.
Yes.
Why didn't you do the charm thing? Why didn't you tell me the charms, nerd?
What if I wanted to be brand?
Why would a direct lineage of one of the astute clan leaders not wish to bear the brand of his people?
Is there like a pamphlet that I can learn more about my name?
Give me that.
I'm gonna take it.
While I find your brands and tattoos pretty fascinating, Ketra, I don't think those will stick.
Oh, we do have chiselers available.
I could get it chiseled.
Let's get you a chisel, man.
I'd like a necklace.
I look down and I don't think she'll let you chisel anything into her.
So how much?
No, she's competing. We decided that. You made that agreement with her.
You made that.
No, that was you.
I remember her saying that she's competing.
She said she would fight with us
When you
for
asked
freedom.
Yeah, but I thought that was more as like your pet, not as.
Never mind then.
Yeah, not as like one of the fighters.
Disregard me then.
So you're branding Ted, Solomon.
I'll get branded.
Solomon's in on the brand.
Sure.
Yeah.
Before we continue on with that, does anybody want to take a quick second from that side of the table and think this through?
I don't want it.
What do you? I don't want it. What are you talking about?
That's not what I'm saying.
Think it through. Can I look at it?
It's the brand of the Savage King.
I don't understand. What?
She's a murderer.
Not even just that.
She was terrible, and probably a lot of people are gonna hate him.
Who of importance may hate him?
Anya.
You're gone.
There you go.
But he doesn't know that, and I don't know.
I'm just, that's
We
why I
don't
was
know
saying from a.
0 fucks given. Let's go.
Alright. So Ted,
Are you sure you don't want
Sucks
like a
to
necklace?
suck, nerd.
I'm gonna give him an out.
not brand him.
He already said he wanted to brand it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
How many necklaces do we have? Because I don't want to lose one.
Why don't you pray on it?
Hey God, my body's a temple, right?
Let me do that.
Oh gosh.
So
I'm gonna
As you pray. No!
I'm gonna match.
As you go to pray, there is a boom that echoes through the chamber, and you can see the lights kind of flicker for a moment and shift over to like this red hue, and everybody in the room starts looking at your guys' group. And the young little half elf kind of looks at you and he goes, "Were you trying to pray?
One main.
Who's praying? You can't do that here. Why would you do that here?
I was just thinking happy thoughts about the guy. I wasn't really talking to him.
You need to be careful.
Sorry.
Prayer during these tournaments is strictly forbidden. Did you not follow up with the pamphlets?
You didn't give us the pamphlets,
It'd be nice if you give us some pamphlets.
There was information that was supposed to be distributed through the Bloodmoors.
Give me. Nerd. I'm sorry, when I went to go through my lineage, I wasn't given a pamphlet.
All right, I'll get
He
some
missed his
information.
lineage training.
I'll get some information for you guys together, and we'll go from there. But don't pray. Direct contact to the gods here can actually cause you either disqualification or execution.
Can I go outside and do it?
I would advise you not to. The Inferium kind of get pissy about it.
Yeah,
Can you do like sending?
I'm aware.
Can you do like sending?
Does that apply to the Almighty
Perfect.
Ubertown?
Perfect. No praying. That
It's-
sounds wonderful.
It's any type of prayer in general.
What about
They-
chanting in tongues and snake play?
I think snake play is okay. There's a couple you and Ty out here, but
Chanting isn't praying. It's cultural singing.
I'll get some information to you all here before the tournament starts. The curator will be here in the next
If you
45
have
minutes to an
anything
hour.
about Lard, that'd be great.
I can see if I can work something out. Wally May was his second in command apparently back in the
No,
day.
thank you.
It would be a good person for you to talk to and reach out to.
All right, cool. Where's he at?
No, I think I'm good.
Let's just be on the safe side. I'll take a necklace.
My body's a temple.
I'm gonna look at Ted. So, do you want to like?
Yeah.
It's a brand. It doesn't work on him because he's made of metal. So basically, you're going to use it as an imprint. You just need to hit it into his side really hard and dent him. Take Tarek's hammer and just crack him in the side.
Sorry, can you crack Ted in the side with your hammer?
Yes, I can do that.
All right, lay down on your side, kid.
I'll go ahead and activate the earthen core.
Plow this thing into the side of Ted as it dents in the marking of the whatchamacallit.
Didn't even hurt.
The Savage King.
Can I keep the brand?
Do it yet?
Yeah.
I can't even feel it.
Shane's like, yeah, of course you can keep it. It's stuck in Ted.
It's a little wedged. You gotta finesse it out with a knife a little bit.
Here, got it.
He looks at you and he goes, about 45 minutes to an hour, the next curator will be here. I can get you some information, probably about 20 minutes, get you something gathered together. Big things, big rules. I know you guys look new. You look excited, though. You excited. I'm excited for this. It's not something we see every day.
Thanks, nerd.
Big things is gambling encouraged. Gold doesn't hold much value, though. You gotta either hit with something magic, arcane, or souls. Souls are a big thing here.
Heard about that.
Other than that, no worship. A lot of god play is kind of on the down low. If you want to speak out to your god, you're going to have to do it outside of this chamber, and I'd be really cautious. There's a lot of creatures and beings out here that really don't like that.
Yeah, what are those?
The Inferium,
Yeah, what are they doing exactly?
building the tournament grounds.
Michael's right. They're building tournament grounds.
Apparently, somebody of importance is going to be at this year's tournament, and we don't know who, but there's a lot of rumors going around, and I'm very excited.
It's me.
They're saying that we might have one of the original.
Original one.
One of the original gods. Like the first, like the originals.
Good town.
No, like older than that.
Super tall.
Watch your tongue, nerd.
Selu?
They're
My mom?
talking about the sun.
Wait,
Sons of all.
really?
That's what they're saying.
Who let him out?
I don't know, but I'm excited. Aren't you excited? It's not often that he gets to journey to the material plane.
Yeah, we're excited, nerd.
So big things. Like I said, no prey. Encourage gambling. Death and murder always encouraged. Once the brand is placed, it allows you to automatically that your soul and all body parts and blood are immediately donated to who you are branded by.
Ooh. I'm gonna look it up.
Other than that, you all have fun. You have about 45 minutes. Mingle! Go mingle! As he runs off.
You think he's a sociopath?
Thanks, nerd.
Yes.
Correct.
So,
Whoa.
Where's Waters?
Wait.
he's in the crowd talking to people. So,
So you just say the murder, everybody?
One Timmy and
we will...
the lightsaber.
Well, I get you guys some guidelines as we go into the tournament because, like I said, I assumed I was going to have another week or so. We will call tonight's episode a smidge early, about 10-15 minutes early.
Put the rocks in.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
You gave us a hint and we went in.
yeah. So,
I was against it.
questions, comments, concerns?
Lots, but no.
I'm excited.
300 contestants, 400 contestants going into phase 1 of the tournament.
Scary.
Fight.
There's a lot to go on from here on out. So yeah, I don't have an access to a phone. I have no idea how many people entered this giveaway.
I think it was only like 3 or 4.
I don't think it was enough.
All right, so we'll call it for tonight. I will check the giveaway the next couple of days when I get a chance. I can look at it on my phone later on. So if there is enough people, I'll message whoever wins out, and I'll just do it that way. But other than that,
We'll be back on Wednesday with Star Wars for our first episode ever.
yeah.
So come check us out on Wednesday.
Yep,
Same time.
Star Wars is starting
Same
on
place.
Wednesday night. The layout should be working, and I have to plan my ass off Wednesday. We also play Storm King's Thunder Wednesday during the day, don't we?
Ooh.
I'm hoping not. If we want to take a break that day so I can get Star Wars situated, I am more than okay with it. If we need to, because I want to say
Watch
we're
the
supposed
live
to.
planning.
I mean, I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm okay. You want to just take a little break?